There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to. Hopefully, you're seeing me. Let's just see. Yep. Yep. It's coming out live. Well, excuse me. Hello and welcome to a live catch-up here on the Bronies UK YouTube channel. So today is a unplanned catch-up, talking about the show, talking about stuff, possible conventions and things like that. So yeah, hope you enjoy the video, whether you're watching us live or watching us when we're no longer live, etc. So let's get my guests or the rest of the Brony team. Yeah, I say team. On here so we can start this. Let me just get them invited in. Bear with me a second. Everything's really, really slow, so if there's a slight connection drop, I apologise if there's anything like that. It never goes according to plan going live on these. There we go. Okay, so that's that done. Just wait for them to pop on. There we go. So, I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing great. So, I've been a little bit quiet with making videos for this channel. But anyway, here we are.
No, Lawrence seems to be having some issue. He couldn't connect to me.
No worries. Just turn volume down. That's better. Well, yeah, I was having a bit of an issue with it, to be honest. Basically, I did the first one, which I sent the link to, but it wouldn't allow me to, for some reason, it wouldn't allow me to go live. It was just saying off air, even though I clicked to start the broadcast. So something happened, so I had to redo it again and delete the previous one. But hopefully she'll join us soon. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Lawrence, how are you? How have you been, Sam?
Well, fine. I mean, considering we saw each other today in pub, not a lot has changed in the last 5 hours since I last saw you.
True, but the people on the Brony UK channel don't know what you've been doing.
Defiling the local pub.
Okay. Anything else? Any purchases? Anything you'd like to talk about?
Well, I've recently purchased a bit of anime on Google Play because I'm going digital now, folks. I don't have the room for any more DVDs apart from anime. Certain types of anime which you cannot get on digital Google Play thing. I will still be buying them because you can't get all anime on that. But also, mainstream films will likely be digital from now on. But I literally don't have the space anymore. This little shed man cave thing that is pretty much full. The shelves in here are nearly full. I've got a bit of room at the top. To be frank, I might be able to make a bit of room in these drawers here if I clear out some of the stuff that's in there. But the top drawer has got all My Little Pony DVDs in it. I do need to actually get season 4 and 5 because I haven't got them yet. I know they're out in the UK, and I think 6 is on pre-order for April, I think. But yeah, that's, I suppose, a brief update. Anything else? I am waiting quite patiently for season 9, the finale, the last season. Generally waiting to see how it's going to end. I have seen too much sadness in the last week of just genuine people pouring their remorse into artwork, and it's been amazing. It's been quite a journey, and I'm looking forward to sharing season 9 with all the Bronies out there. One thing did come to mind earlier today that I want to throw out there. There's a few things I want to see in season 9, but there's one thing for one specific character I want to see in season 9 because it's the final season. And I think this needs it. This character needs this. I want to see Spike make a contribution, and by that I don't mean I want to see an episode where he does something that's independent. For example, like the fact that he, saved the Crystal Kingdom. Or Crystal Empire, I can't remember which one it is now. Basically, he technically stopped Sombra and also was responsible for creating peace with the dragons and the changelings and all that stuff. That's kind of non-central. I want to see Spike. To be frank, I want him to be the hero. I actually want something major to happen in season 9, and Spike is the hero. He is the one that ultimately does something. I don't want him to be the sidekick character in an episode and he just happens to do something that results in good, like a good ending, like the bad guy being beaten, but it's just by pure chance. I actually want to see Spike really evolve. I mean, yeah, he's grown a lot as a character, but I'm hoping we might get closure on the fan theory that he is secretly the 7th element of harmony. And I know we've discussed this at length, so I'm not going to go into it, but that's sort of my thoughts on season 9. I want Spike to really achieve something for the final season. That's one of the things. I could talk for hours about things I want to see in season 9, but that's one of the things that I really want to say.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to see as well, to be honest. I mean, like you, I agree. I would like to see a little bit more of Spike coming more into his own. Maybe a possible return of what's her name? Oh God, I've forgotten her name now. Basically, Tempest. I'd love to see Tempest come back, but that's very unlikely. But with it being the last season, they might maybe make an exception. You never know. But I would love to see Tempest come back, and just because she's on a bit of a self-discovery, if you will, journey, according to Twilight.
Well, speaking of Tempest, there's one thing that I actually got to agree, because a couple of people were talking about this a few days ago on the Facebook fan group.
Yeah.
They sort of set it up in season 8, at the start of season 8. It started just after the film, so the map was kind of like upgraded with all the locations he visited in the film. They have obviously been to Mount Ares at least twice in season 8, but they've yet to visit the pirate crew of the pirate ship or go to Cloak Town, I believe it's called. They've not been to those 2 locations. I'd love for them locations to show up in season 9, because it feels like a waste if they're not going to really expand into the locations they set up in the film. And again, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate from a voice actor role, Tempest Shadow may not be easy to bring back, but as you say, John, I would like to see her come back because she's an interesting character. I feel like even if it was just for one episode, if it was just more like her catching up with the main 6 and just like, well, this is what I've been doing. I've been spreading the news of the Storm King's defeat. I've been reconnecting with people, old friends, and I'm trying to undo the things I did when I was with the Storm King. Something like that. That'd be fun. That'd be good to see.
Well, yeah, it would. I mean, I'd like to see that for sure. But I suppose we'll see. Find out eventually. Maybe I don't think she'll be in maybe the first half. She might maybe be in maybe later on, maybe. Because from what we've seen from the teasers, now, spoiler alert, I know we're live, but from what I say now, most people will probably won't see if they're coming in just now. But anyway, just spoiler alert for when we're not live, just in case people haven't seen the trailers. From what we can see, from what my interpretation of how the trailer's coming over, basically from what I can understand and see, is that it seems like it's not like, I don't think they're going over everything from the first half of the season 9. To me, this feels like it's possibly just the first 2, maybe 3 episodes, maybe the 2-part special plus maybe season 3. I think we're only seeing a smidge of the first part of the season. Because quite frankly, they are probably keeping the 200 episode special a bit secretive until it airs. They are probably not wanting to go too far in the previews and everything, because generally I think they want you to be surprised. But the problem is it'll all get fucked up again like it has in the past.
Well, I really hope they can keep to some sort of schedule, because the problem is, I know there were issues in the last 2-3 seasons, but I really hope there isn't an issue, because I mean, realistically, due to the schedule issue last year, technically episodes were being kind of leaked weeks in advance. There were like episodes that were being released that weren't even due for public airing for like 2-3 weeks. And it was causing a lot of problems. And I appreciate there is scheduling issues. I can only hope that for the final season they've got that sorted out. Because I'd like to try and keep a bit up to date, but not without being ahead of people. Because getting 2 or 3 episodes ahead of people can cause conflict. Because it's like, okay, well, you're talking about an episode. What happened? What? That's a spoiler. I've greatly spoiled it. And I accidentally did that last year. I talked about an episode I'd watched, and most of the people in response were like, "Oh bloody hell, cheers for the spoiler." It's like, "Oh shit, sorry," and I didn't realize the episode I'd watched wasn't even due out for like a week. I'm hoping it'll get fixed, but at the same time, it's an issue that's basically there. Shout out to all my buddies at Primark. Thanks for this Highland whiskey. You got it for my birthday. Thank you. I know you probably won't ever watch this video, but cheers to my workmates. I'm not going to drink all this at once, by the way. I'm just going to pour myself a little shot in my portable shot glass here that I've got.
People of the interwebs, we are on YouTube live. Please comment live if you would like to see Sam neck that whiskey.
I am not necking this bottle of whiskey. It'd probably kill me if I neck this whole thing. Oh, what was it? It's like, bloody hell, if I neck this whole thing, who knows what I'd be like in the morning.
Well, that's nice that your colleagues actually buy you gifts for your birthday. I mean, I never got anywhere, to be honest.
Well, short response to that is you'll find that there's a little bit more of a social circle when you're work for a place that's not big. I mean, realistically, in my Primark, I'd probably say just over 100 people working there. But on the average day, average shift, I'd probably say there can't be any more than 45, 50 people on shift at either one day. And then within your unit, I could say there's not that. I mean, obviously I do till work, and there's probably in the afternoon shift, there's probably 10 people at best that are on the same shift as me. So you tend to get to know everybody. I mean, when you were at Asda, the way you worked, you wouldn't really have got to know a lot of people outside of when you were on a break. So it kind of has its benefits to when you haven't got a massive workforce during the shift. But can't complain anyway. I did get you a mammoth spoilment presents last year, so
True, you did, yeah.
But sticking with the subject of MLP, I generally think we will be looking at Hasbro's reveals for Gen 5 later this year, either at San Diego Comic-Con or at HasCon, because I think they need to address it in some way, because a lot of people are going to be asking what's next. In regards to the Equestria Girls universe, my theory at the moment is it'll carry on for another 2 years. So this year they'll finish off all the shorts that they're doing, plus that 45-minute special they're doing. Then I think next year they might have one final film to finish it all off. And my theory is that that film will end with them all basically graduating from Canterlot High and then like going on with whatever happens after that. Yeah. That's theory.
Yeah, possibly, or unless maybe Equestria, because we don't know the details yet of what's going to happen with Gen 5 if there is going to be one.
I think there will be.
There will be, no doubt, because I can't see Hasbro saying that's it for MLP.
It's too big a franchise for them. Too much money.
Exactly.
Too much money.
But I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be somewhat of a continuation of Gen 4, but from a perspective of different characters. Maybe like this young main 6 or whatever. Yeah, the new main 6. Will it mainly focus on them, their development, and the rest of them are more secondary in the background?
If you've looked at the kind of like official and like announcement teaser confirming it's the final season for season 9, there's a very brief 2 or 3 second scene in there that shows the Tree of Harmony, basically in the form of Twilight, like in season 8, doing something to the new main 6. And a lot of people are speculating that Tree of Harmony is kind of giving the new main 6 the elements. There's that theory that that's what's actually happening.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, from what we see, like I said, people, in like I kind of went on a bit of a tangent before, but basically, from what we can see from the trailers for season 9, is that we have, from what I can see, is that I think, like I said a moment ago, that I think what we're seeing in the trailers is like the only maybe the first 3 to maybe push 4 episodes in of the first part, and I don't think we're going to get a preview of the mid-season finale until at least maybe an episode or 2 before that episode airs or whatever. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it'll work, but I can't see them going all out and showing you the mid-season finale and also the end of season finale. I can't see them doing that yet.
They're showing a little bit of the opening, a little bit of basically the opening 2-parter, possibly a little bit from the finale, possibly, and a bit from the middle. But again, that is speculation. I have a bit of a theory that there might be more to it on the grounds of Celestia announcing how she and Luna are stepping down and Twilight's taking over. I think there might be a lot more behind that than what we've been led to believe. I would estimate that it's possible, because let's just say it, right? Because this is how I've always seen it. For all the good that Celestia is seen as, I'd seriously stick with the fact that Celestia has been and is manipulating Twilight and all their friends, and I generally believe that her stepping down is just another thing she's throwing at Twilight. And if they are stepping down, if that is it, if Celestia and Luna are stepping down, handing it over to Twilight and her friends, what's going to happen to them? Are they going to go back to their homeland, wherever they're from? Are they going to remain? John, would you stop overcompensating? Seriously.
What am I doing?
You're stroking your pistol. Don't do that. We don't want to see you stroke your pistol. Stop trying to overcompensate. But, you know, that's my theory. Anyway. Just so you know, ladies, John's overcompensating with a large Megatron transformer that transforms into a big gun. He's trying to overcompensate and make himself feel more manly with it.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the moment, we don't really know. We've only got the trailers to go by for what they've shown us so far. But with what you said there, where you do see in the proper trailer that came out about a week or two ago, you do see Twilight somehow transferring something to the new main six. Now, I've always said if it does end at season 9, because I did say previously, if season 9 does happen to be the last season, way before it was announced that it was to be, I said, well, if it ends at season 9, I personally can't see that being. I can't really see the idea of introducing brand new characters only back in season 7. So season 8, season 7. Was it season 7 or season 8?
Season 7. Yeah, that's when they did the whole School of Friendship.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought season 8 was School of Friendship.
No, it was season 7. It's when they started it in season 7.
That's right. Yeah. So yes, essentially, with these new characters have kind of come in from the end of season 7, or around about season 7, throughout season 8. And then also you've got this development with Starlight Glimmer as well, which has become a big fan favourite, and she is now essentially part of the main 8, as they are known as now, the main characters. So, I'm thinking that could Gen 5, excuse me, could Gen 5 more or less kind of be focused more on the new main 6, or could the new movie coming out in 2021 have more relevance towards those characters? Or, because at the moment, we only know that this movie coming out in 2020 or 21, whatever. All we know about it is some people are saying it's a spin-off, and other people are saying it's possibly a prequel. We don't know what it is yet until later on this year, when we might get more information at HasCon, because HasCon only happens once every 2 years. So this year HasCon is happening, and no doubt HasCon will have a lot of information, because HasCon has been little by little announcing little things at toy fairs and things like that, where there's a lot of executives from places that are looking to buy stock from Hasbro and all these other companies to sell in their stores, and all that stuff. And essentially, they show like the future of their brand and the future of the stuff that they produce, and so as like the cartoons and movies. So like Hasbro has been promoting the new toy lines for Transformers, possibly Mask as well, because that's getting a resurgence this year, and also MLP. And they are their big 3 things at the moment that are really going to be of interest to kids and collectors alike. Excuse me. But that's all the information we've got so far has been coming from toy fairs. So at the moment, I think the big nitty-gritty, the proper information will be HasCon, and then anything else will probably be a big, massive season 9 finale panel. I think SDCC or New York Comic Con are going to do a massive panel. They're going to have the main character voice actors there, possibly, the writers, everything. They probably might go all out with it being the last season for Friendship is Magic, and really kind of thank the fans by treating them to maybe a look at like a bit of a what the next movie will be, what in 2020-21, and what the plans are for possible Gen 5, because people are saying that Gen 5 is coming very soon, and if that is true, then they're going to have to probably announce it this year.
Well, here's from what we know now. It basically turns out that the leak about season 9 being the last season was true. That was true.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's sort of obvious that all the Gen 5 artwork is definitely false, or is artwork from early concepts for the 2017 movie, or early concepts for early season of obviously Gen 4. In regards to the future of MLP, I think it's safe to say two things. One, end of season 9, they'll finish off Equestria Girls. I think Gen 5 will probably start. I'm thinking either just before or just after the 2021 movie. They might well have a gap. They might well. MLP is finishing this year. I think Equestrial Girls will finish next year, and then that'll leave them with roughly a year's gap for the film, and then after the film, Gen 5. That's
because the thing is, if the film, I mean, the information that we got from at one of the toy fairs, I think it was either Turkey or something, I don't know, but there was a toy fair earlier this year. About a month or so ago. And all this information about season 9 being the last season and the possible future movie in the next 2 years, essentially, or year and a bit. And with all that information, all we have to go on with the movie is that it is happening. There's another movie. But yet, this is information that it's apparently this movie is going to be a spin-off or a standalone. So what I'm thinking of is this going to possibly be a movie that's setting up Gen 5? Or is this going to be a movie that's going to somehow kind of be its own thing? I don't know. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah, here's Lawrence.
Finally, you're here.
Sorry, guys, I had to reboot my internet.
No, don't worry about it.
How you guys doing?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Feel free to jump in and discuss, my friend. We're basically just talking everything we can think about for season 9 and the future of it.
Right, Sam? Can you hear me, John?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear Sam.
Sab.
Yeah? You should be able to hear me.
Can you hear him either?
Yeah, I can hear him fine.
Let's have a look. Sam?
I can hear you, mate. I can hear you, Lawrence.
What?
I can hear you.
He said he can hear you.
Oh, I can't. Oh. Let's have a look.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter about what Sam says. You know, it's all right. It's fine.
Mute microphone. Oh, something weird's going on.
Try again, Sam. Speak, boy. Speak.
Did you hear me now?
Obviously not.
No.
That's weird. What? I'm on Hangouts. I'm on Hangouts with Sam and Lawrence. Whatever.
Is that your dad?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm here now. Sorry about that. Can you hear Sam now?
Can you hear me, Lawrence?
No.
Strange.
I couldn't hear you.
I'm on with Sam online. Yeah, sorry about that. I keep being. My dad's been shouting at me as well. Right, there's something's going on. For some reason, sorry about this, folks. If anyone's watching, for some reason, Lawrence can hear me, but he can't hear Sam for some reason.
Oh, I can definitely hear everything Lawrence is saying.
but Sam can obviously hear Lawrence. That's a bit weird. It seems like it might be on your side, Lawrence.
Yeah, hang on. Let's have a look.
That is. Or has Sam got some sort of thing on that? Maybe I don't know. It's either between you and Sam that the fault is, because it's not on my side because you can hear me.
Voice. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can definitely hear you, mate.
I heard myself back then. I
What?
can hear myself back.
You can hear? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, but I can hear myself.
Yeah.
I'm getting double back. What do you call it?
Feedback.
Feedback. There we go. Yeah, it's gone now. Yep, we've got it back.
I still can't hear Sam though.
So you should definitely hear you, Lawrence.
But I'm definitely getting feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing headphones. It's eliminating on my side. So.
Let's have a look.
Sorry about this, folks.
Yeah.
Technical issues happen.
Control room. Let's have a look. Your monitor video call. Strange. I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave for a minute and then come back. Okay.
Okay.
It's a bit odd.
All right. Sorry about that, folks, for a moment. The problem there. It's definitely on Lawrence's side because I could hear myself, I could hear feedback on my side, and literally everything was enhanced. Everything. Even my dad just turned the light off downstairs and I could hear it.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Now I can't hear anyone.
Sorry.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Sam.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you both.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, just mute Sam. It's easier.
It's alright, I can hear you both now. It's okay.
That's all right then.
Right, well, at least we got that sorted. That was a bit odd.
Anyway, so basically before you came on, Lawrence, all I was talking about was just what your thoughts may be on season 9, what you would maybe like to see happen, and your thoughts on.
Well, I still haven't had the time to really catch up, but on the lot, because the last few weeks haven't really gone very well. My mum's been in hospital for 2 weeks, and then obviously we lost our dog Wolfie.
Yeah, you said sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, bud. I mean, you sent me that message a few days ago saying about that, and it's not easy to lose a fairy friend. I mean, I've lost two cats over the years.
It happened very unexpectedly because he ate something poisonous in my mum's friend's garden when he was clearly not being back in the hedges. It looked like he could have had a stroke or something, so they had to put him down.
No, poor thing. The thing is, with dogs, you've got to be extra careful because certain plants, chocolate, anything can poison them. You've got to be very careful.
Yeah, the thing is, and he was never a particularly bright dog. His sister, Peggy, much brighter, so we've still got her. Been had it for 8 years.
Yeah, it's not nice to lose a fairy friend. It really isn't. It's I mean, like I say, I mean, I've lost over the past, I don't know, since. Well, I think I've lost 2 cats. When my mum and dad got when Alpha was pretty much born, give or take about maybe 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months. when I was first born, we had a dog called Lucky, and
Yeah.
sadly he died due to cancer, I think it was, and he passed away. But I never really, I don't remember him. I just have like recollections from my parents, what they've told me, stories of what he used to get up to. He was a right little sod of a dog. He was a border collie, and he used to like, he used to kind of, whenever the phone rang, he'd get an apple or a banana or something from the fruit bowl. Whenever a postman or someone came to the front door, he would literally just rip. He would literally go absolute. But he just bark at anyone that came to the door. He would literally bark at anyone that came into the house. That like he had a go at my dad.
Yeah.
Apparently, he only got on properly with my mum, but anyone else, he used to just growl at and everything. He was a pretty funny dog. But unfortunately, with my mum and dad, they both worked full time at the time before I was born, obviously, and because there was never really at home, the poor thing got bored, and he just kind of like acted up. He was like he used to chew and gnaw all the furniture. He used to rip the curtains down and everything. Oh, he was a right sub dog. But sadly, he had to be put down due to having, I think, cancer or something. When I was maybe 6 months old, maybe. And then after that, they got a cat called Susie, and that cat lived up to when I was about 16. So that cat was 16 when it passed away.
Yeah, my mum had one that lived to be 19.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah, we've had several cats and dogs over the years.
Yeah, my parents got Susie, she sadly she develops like a lump or something in her throat or something, and I think some sort of lump, and it ended up being tumor, and she had to get put down, unfortunately.
Yeah, that happened to my cat. She was only about 7. She had a brain tumor.
Yeah, and maybe about a year later, we've got 2 more. So I've got one still, my cat Mindy. She's one of the 2 that we got, but my other one, sadly, that one had to be put down as well. So we lost 2 cats in the past, maybe, I don't know, over 20 years anyway. Maybe a good, pretty much since I've been here, we've had a cat. So pretty much all my life, I kind of grew up with the cat. You see, it was.
Yeah, my mum's still got one pet. I mean, obviously, I can't have any pets like cats or dogs in my place. But I still see my mum's. I mean, now we've got 1 dog and 1 cat. So.
All right, cool. Yeah, well. At least the one good thing. I mean, obviously that dog was obviously much loved, and it had a nice home and everything. And that's the most you can really ask for a dog's life or a pet's life. Really, is that they had a nice life. Yeah, sadly, it ended in such a horrible way. But
it did, yeah.
But the problem is with animals, like cats included, they go around and they eat or drink something, and they don't realise and end up getting ill. It happens a lot, unfortunately. You just got to be really careful with dogs because they're a bit sensitive. Certain breeds are more sensitive than others. Yeah. But if you've got like what I would call a pedigree dog, they have more problems. Proper pedigree dogs, which are like they're not like crossed with anything. They have their metabolisms are a bit weaker than other dogs.
Yeah, the thing is, these 2, the 2 we had, obviously, they were both a mixture of Jack Russell and Shih Tzu. Because the father was Russell and the mother was a Shih Tzu.
Yeah, but it's usually when you've got cross dogs, like what Sam's got, he's got 2 like Jack Russell crosses.
Dexter's a Jack Russell, mate.
Sorry?
Dexter's a pure Jack Russell.
Oh, is he? I thought it was a mix. Sorry.
No, Pippin's a mix.
No, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, when you've got a proper what you call a pedigree breed, they do have a tendency of having a bit of a problem with metabolism later on in life, and they do catch things, and you need to get them in injections, and you have to be quite regularly to back and forth to vets later on to make sure they're all right. And you got to feed them proper balanced food. You're supposed to kind of feed them proper balanced food. That is mainly for pedigree dogs. All that kind of stuff. They're pretty expensive to deal with, pedigree dogs. But when you've got cross dogs, because they've got two breeds, they kind of counteract those problems a little bit. But yeah, they kind of counteract those problems. So they've both got like blood of a different type of breed in them, and it kind of makes this hybrid. And not all the time. I mean, there are some, like, you know, you got like Shih Tzu, just the Shih Tzu,
That's
and you've got
yeah,
you've got like
Peggy's more the Jack Russell.
Yeah. Because like the thing is, when you've got like thing like a Shih Tzu, or you've got like a pug, or you've got like anything like that where their noses are real like squished in and they've barely got a nose and things like that. Those dogs are obviously bred from a different breed to another breed, and they are kind of purposely kind of bred to look like that, and they have breathing problems later on in life. So like British bulldogs, boxer dogs, pugs, Frenchies, all that kind of stuff where they've got a real funny little face. They're cute, don't get me wrong, but they do have problems later down because of what humans have done with kind of putting this dog with that dog, making this hybrid, and they have breathing problems because they don't have much of a muzzle.
No.
But yeah, if you had like a Labrador, or you had a cross between a lab and something else, then obviously they're going to be a bigger dog, and obviously they're going to have a bit more of a muzzle, and they're going to have a bit more better lifespan, and the metabolism is going to be a bit better. But yeah, so anyway, it's talking about MLP, and we're talking about pets. So I apologise for the little interview for you there, but yeah, getting back to the question at you, Lawrence. But I know you're not caught up yet. But
yeah, well, my thoughts for season 9 is really I just want to see. I want to see. Hopefully, the Twilight will take over from Celestia, and I want to see Spike's story, fulfilled.
Have you seen the trailers at all for season 9 yet?
I've seen one or two of them. Yes.
Right, because have you seen the one where you kind of see Twilight possibly giving magical some kind of like to the new characters? I don't know how far you are, but in season 7,
I'm still on season 6, so
right. Okay.
What I might do tomorrow, because it'll help me, relax and just I might watch a bit of it tomorrow actually.
Well, obviously, if you're up to season 6, then you probably won't be aware of what happens in season 7, obviously. So basically, in season 7, all I'm going to say is you get introduced to 6 new characters, and they become the new main 6.
Yeah.
And they are essentially, well, they're being dubbed by the fandom as the new main 6. And they carry on in seasons 7 and 8. And obviously they're coming into season 9, obviously. And there's a bit in a trailer, I don't know if you've seen it, Lawrence, but there's a bit in a trailer where Twilight transfers their elements of harmony to the other 6.
It was not actually Twilight, mate. It's the Tree of Harmony.
It's a Tree of Harmony, but you see Twilight kind of stomp and it comes out of her hoof.
It's the Tree of Harmony taking the form of Twilight.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, because it did the same thing in season 8.
Oh, right, I didn't realise that. But yeah, because in the trailer you do see the Tree of Harmony kind of be destroyed. And then you kind of see the actual gems get smashed as well. Yeah. So it's leading you to believe that it's the elements are gone. But then obviously you see this new trailer that came out that is kind of obviously what Sam said. It's obviously the Tree of Harmony the shape of Twilight. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was because with Twilight being a magic user and she practices magic, I kind of thought she kind of knew a spell to kind of transfer the power. I don't know. Well, anyway, but now I know who was half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anyway, but yeah. Also, Lawrence as well, with obviously season 9 on the horizon. Sorry. Basically, we also found out that there's going to be another theatrical movie, possibly coming to the big screen. That is going to be released in 2020 or 21. So we've got a little bit to go yet. Now, the only information we've got to go on is that it's going to be a possible spin-off or a standalone. So we don't know if it's going to be a sequel or just a spin-off, standalone, or whatever.
If it's a spin-off, could it be something that goes between sort of Gen 4 and Gen 5? No, this is
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. The information about season 9 being the last season and this movie was announced at a toy fair of sorts. I think it was New York or I think it was either New York or Tokyo Toy Fair. One of them there's a couple of them a few months ago, and this information came out from them, from those events. And so pretty much. Sorry.
I haven't heard anything. I mean, I should maybe talk to this guy because there's this guy now on our local market who now runs this collector store. I've mentioned it before. The only MLP stuff he seems to have at the moment, apart from a few plushes, it's from the older generations.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, end of the day, I mean, it's an 80s property, and it's kind of a good thing that he's got the vintage lines as well.
Yeah, he's got like the old annuals and stuff. Oh, just quickly, John, are you now booked for TF Nation?
Yes, I'm booked. I'm booked, but I need to kind of try to buckle down and get saving because I've got something happening in July as well that needs money for. So I'm pretty much just going to be saving.
Going somewhere in July? Is that your 30th birthday?
No. My 30th birthday is in November. Basically, it's me and Lizzie. It's our 1 year anniversary since we made it official of going out, or being a couple, whatever. And so basically, she wants to kind of go away for a few days, and we're thinking of going down to Manchester.
TFN this year.
Sorry.
Is he going to come to TFN?
She's a bit on the fence at the moment. Apparently, at the minute as it stands, none of the guests really wow her. I mean, obviously, she's met Peter Spellos a couple of times already, and so have I. But he's an awesome guy, don't get me wrong. But she's already met Peter Spellos, and she's not too sure about Greg Berger because she didn't really grow up, or she knows of G1 Transformers, but she kind of prefers the newer stuff. That makes any sense? So, yeah, she doesn't have the same appreciation for Greg Berger like myself or you, Lawrence, or Sam, whatever. But yeah, basically, unless another voice actor gets announced or another guest that she really is interested in, she may possibly come.
ClubCon's the big thing this year. ClubCon's the big extra, isn't it, this year?
Yeah, apparently, and plus, obviously, they're putting a big because it's the big 40th anniversary of Gundam as well during the weekend. Or this year, it's 40 years of Gundam, which is a Japanese mecha thing with also the model kits as well, and apparently they're doing a special panel and something to do with it, and obviously there's going to be a separate area that is going to be just nothing but Japanese memorabilia and Gundam. So they're doing
or is it you can go in there as long as you're attending?
If you've got a weekend pass, apparently you can get access to it, or maybe a day pass. So it's a part of the dealer room, but they're giving the Gundam bit kind of a completely separate area. So there's going to be apparently there's going to be more than one store that are going to be kind of looking into that kind of Japanesey stuff.
Oh wow, well that would be awesome then. I'll be up for that. I mean, obviously, I will probably pick up a couple of Transformers because it's not really right to go to a Transformers convention and not pick up anything Transformers related. But
True.
The thing is, I didn't buy nearly half as much as last year as I did the first time. I came back with quite a bit of money left over. But I enjoyed the so last year more. 2017, I kind of went all out buying stuff.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So before we carry on with anything else, we have a person on the live chat called Jonathan. We're just going to call him Jonathan. He's Jonathan Martinez Guerrero. Sorry, pronounce that. From Mexico.
Wow.
And
from the UK.
Hello from the UK to you in Mexico. Awesome to have you. Basically, he says hello to everybody. He also says, I hope it's not strange that I speak in two languages, and that's fine, don't worry about it.
Right.
And he says, Viva Mexico, Viva Mexico. And then he's a Brony in Mexico, and basically says the Bronies of Mexico suffers basically to know that season 9 is going to be the last of MLP. Season 4, basically Gen 4 is coming to an end this year. You're not the only one. The people of Europe and the UK and America, anyone in the fandom are also hating about it. And then he continues to say, "This animation of the Sunset Shimmer story I like. I hope you see." He's sent a link. I will get that in a moment. And then it says Mexicans think that Celestia and Luna will not leave their powers when they retire. What do you think? So, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, as I said, I hope. Question. I know that Twilight might step down maybe from her pedestal. Well, or no, Celestia might step down from her pedestal, but I don't think she'd give up her actual powers.
Well,
no,
considering
I don't think her powers, because the whole idea of Celestia and Luna is that, Celestia is the sun and Luna is the moon. So I think they will still have those responsibilities, but as
it's a bit deeper than that. I mean, don't forget, Luna's also the guardian and protector of dreams. I mean, I can't see them just stepping away from the duties. I mean, they may well step away as overall leaders, but I can't see them giving up the day-to-day stuff like raising the sun, raising the moon, all that stuff. But,
like all those stories, kind of thing. I mean,
yeah. So, what are your thoughts, Lawrence, on that question?
Yeah, well, I kind of that's what I want. I hope that if Celestia, passes on her main duties to Twilight, or and Twilight becomes, the ruler of Equestria. Hopefully, Princess Celestia will still be around to sort of have a background role, so she doesn't leave.
Yep.
Somewhat a tragic ending, which I mean, maybe because the franchise has an older fan base as well as the young ones, they might put some kind of emotional storyline in at the end to connect with the Brony fan base. But given the fact that it is mainly a kid show, they might overall keep it happy, and maybe the younger kids won't want to see, wouldn't want to see Twilight, Celestial or Luna completely give up their pedestal.
Yeah, true. But I mean, my opinion to that, like, basically, about Celestia and Luna, that apparently the Mexican fans think
Yeah.
that their powers, when they retire, they're not going to leave their powers. I mean, at the moment, we don't. We can only speculate until these episodes air, and we've not got very long to go and to wait for those. But personally, I think that conversation will happen probably first episode of season 9. I think that will set the tone from the beginning. I think we're going to get that in the first 2-part special, or if they're going to do a 3-part special, I have no idea. Because I think they're going to go all out on season 9. And they've said this that they're going to be going all out with season 9. They're going to be thanking the fans, thanking the voice actors, and they're really going to be kind of trying to answer some much needed questions from the fans as well. Apparently.
Yeah.
So basically, I think
what a lot of fan bases can be like if the questions they want aren't answered, and that's relating to every fan base.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that I don't think Celestia and Luna. Personally, I don't think Celestia and Luna are going to give up their responsibilities as of what they represent. Because obviously the whole sun and moon. I know Twilight probably knows the spells and everything in order to do it herself, but I don't think she's going to have that responsibility. I think Celestia and Luna will still be.
I think they'll still do that. It would effectively, if they ended up giving Twilight their overall abilities, if you will, it would effectively make Twilight like just too powerful. Although I do have a theory that Twilight could already do Celestia Luna's job. She could raise and lower the moon and other things. I think she could already do it. Time will tell on that, but I think you're right. It wouldn't make much sense them all out just taking a complete back step.
Yeah, I think they're just stepping back from basically being, princesses. They want to. I think they're just stepping back to kind of give Twilight, put Twilight there. The thing is, though, it's kind of obvious. That I personally think this is a very obvious thing. Me and you said, I remember about last week, I think it was, or a few days ago when you was round, last weekend, I think it was, and you, Sam, you were around my end, and we were kind of talking about, we kind of like looked at, I think we watched the trailer, I think, downstairs on the telly or whatever, and we kind of had a conversation, and we both kind of looked at each other, and we're both like, yeah, we called it. We absolutely called that to be what will happen in season 9 or the last season, is that Twilight will probably become the ruler of Equestria. And I think every other fan out there probably had that speculation from day one. But yeah, I mean, to finish off that question on my part is that I personally don't think Celestia and Luna will give up their responsibilities of that equilibrium of rising the sun and rising the moon and all that stuff. But I think they're just going to step away from the throne and give the limelight or the limelight or whatever mainly to Twilight because she's the main character. He's come back with a couple more questions. So thank you, Jonathan, from Mexico for these. He says, why do you think Shadow King kidnapped the baby? So basically that is...
That's something I have a theory about that. I actually think that Sombra needs Flurry Heart because since she's sort of the first natural born Alicorn that we know of, she would be very powerful. So it's quite possible maybe he's going to use her for some sort of ritual. Because it wouldn't surprise me if Sombra that we see isn't the complete Sombra. It might well be a shadow of him, and he needs Flurry Heart's magic to fully summon himself. Because I know it's going way back, but season 2, when they introduced Sombra, when they did the Crystal Kingdom, I believe it was season 2, there's a bit where a bit of his horn is cut off, and I believe that's quite part of the catalyst You'll probably find it'll have something to do with magic and something to do with summoning him. That's pretty much where I'm going from. That's my theory.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we don't really know too much. Obviously, we can only kind of speculate until these episodes air properly. But from what we can see is that it does appear that he is in the school or in Twilight's castle, maybe, or she is. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Or
Crystal Kingdom, mate.
the Crystal Kingdom. That's it. And obviously, they see King Sombra trying to kidnap the little baby of Fury Heart, whatever. So yeah, I mean, I think my opinion on that would be that I think he just wants to take her because I don't know, maybe to kind of because of what you said, Sam, pretty much kind of that she is the first true born Alicorn, the first for I don't know millennia, probably longer. And from what we know of, from what's been said already, she is the first true born Alicorn. So I don't know. Maybe he's trying to take her for that reason, or leverage. I don't know. Maybe he wants to overthrow Equestria and gonna use the baby as leverage for that. Maybe. What do you think, Lawrence? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would agree. I think the whole idea that he's going to kidnap a baby is probably something will represent as a big threat for the final series. And that'll be a big mission for the Bronies to accomplish.
Yeah. True. So yeah, Jonathan from Mexico is carrying on. He says the Bronies will dominate the world. Yeah, we will.
I'd like that very much. If the Bronies dominated the world, it'd probably mean world peace.
Hopefully, so yeah.
But no, we'd end up fracturing into micro fan bases that supported the different characters.
Yeah.
But you'd probably actually get the Lunar Republic, the Celestian Republic. You'd have all that. The Rainbow Dash fans, the Fluttershy fans. It'd probably be anarchy.
Well, let's just put this.
For a few years, it'd be anarchy.
Well, let's just put this to where. The Rainbow Dash League, or whatever I'm going to call them, or the Rainbow Dash 20% Cooler Crew, they will be the best crew out of all of them. Let's just putting that out there, because she's the best pony. But anyway, so Jonathan says one last thing. He hasn't come back anymore, but he might come back. I don't know. He says, "I thank my teacher for teaching me English," and I just replied saying, "You're doing very well in the English. It's not too bad at all."
Well, but anyway, teacher's job is to teach, but good on the teacher.
Sorry?
It's good on the teacher.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you're still there, Jonathan, by all means, keep asking questions and we'll try and answer as many as possible.
Well, it's about 5 p.m. over there, so we're good 6 hours ahead of him.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was pretty awesome. So thank you to him. So yeah, but yeah, like I was going to ask you, Lawrence, and like I said, and obviously we've already said this, that we don't know too much, and obviously you're only on season 6. But what would you possibly like to see happen from this possible movie that's coming out? Because from what we've got so far, the only information is that obviously there's a movie coming out. It's going to be a possibly big screen film, but all we've got is that it's going to be possibly a standalone, or maybe kind of, I don't know, maybe a bridge gap film between Gen 4 and Gen 5. We don't know.
Well, depending on what it is, if it is a standalone thing, it would be nice to see. It would be good to kind of see an alternate version of it. Depending on it doesn't go too far or stray too far away from Friendship is Magic, as the franchise everyone knows and loves. It would be good to see kind of an alternate version, as long as it does remain loyal. On the other hand, if it's a spin-off film or a bridge gap film between Gen 4 and the next one, it'd just be interesting to see how the storyline leads in. So yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see. Hopefully, if it's a potentially canon film, that I'd just like to see maybe how Gen 4 leads into Gen 5.
Hmm.
Or I would say I'd like to maybe see if I could get down to Hull when it comes out, so I can go and see it with you guys. So I don't think I'd quite want to go into a cinema watching an MLP film by myself, but
Oh, well, you're very welcome to join us. I mean, more the merrier. I mean, end of the day, I mean, me and Sam went to see the 2017 film, and I think we saw it 3 times. Huh?
Yeah, 3 times. 3 times.
I mean, there's no shame in it. I
Yeah,
mean,
right. Well, it was a pretty good film. I enjoyed it.
yeah, there's no shame in it. I mean, there's no difference of going to see a film about MLP and going to see a Disney film, Walt Disney film. There's no difference. It's both animation, family entertainment. Just get off your ivory tower, people, and just get off your ego thing of that way we're apparently all freaking paedophiles. Piss off.
That's the joke my dad made. Whenever he's like, he comes into my house and he sees my stuff and he goes, "Oh, you got your gay ponies up."
Yeah, so some people on the outside, obviously, people outside of fan bases don't get it. But the problem is, you got to understand is that generally people that are fans of this series or of this show are people that are just generally fans of animation in general, fans of Disney, fans of DreamWorks, fans of Illumination, whatever. We are all fans of Japanese anything. We're fans of animation, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more to it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's probably a couple people out there that have kind of given the fandom a bit of a bad name or bad reputation because they've done some unsavory things to people or to little kids, or it's been found they've got material on their computers and things like that, which is despicable. I do not condone that at all.
That's disgusting.
It is absolutely disgusting. But for the most part, they are all just normal people that just generally enjoy a show that happens to be about anthropomorphic ponies.
Yeah.
So get over yourselves, people that put down people that enjoy the show, because at the end of the day, it's no different to someone liking Adventure Time or Regular Show or Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon. How many guys back in the 90s watched
don't get me wrong, I love Sailor Moon because I grew up with Sailor Moon on Fox Kids. I've actually been rewatching it lately.
Cool. Yeah.
I along with Pokemon, Digimon, and Sailor Moon, they were my 3 favorite animes really as a kid.
Yeah.
They were my introductions to anime. So and I appealed to Sailor Moon because why it was appealing to me was because it still had the element of action in it. So I think I heard it was originally dubbed for the Western market in 1995, kind of as a female alternative to Power Rangers, is what I read. But it can be appealing.
Well, you can kind of see that. You can kind of see that because obviously it's a Japanese anime, and if you think about it, they are all color coordinated. Obviously they wear sailor outfits. That's the whole thing. Or sailor schoolgirl uniform outfits. Whatever.
You had a tuxedo mask was the male hit.
Yeah.
I mean, going slightly off topic for a minute. I've seen these clips of now the new the company that now owns Sailor Moon. I think it was Geek sold it. I have heard that the original anime, the same one, has been redubbed and re-released. I think I've seen clips of it, like the cat Luna. She now has an American accent.
Well, I don't know. Well, the original series was obviously dubbed back in the 90s, and I can't remember who did the dub, but I think that company went out of business.
Yeah.
So it never got. Sorry.
Yeah. Was it Deke? Company Deke? Because I had a few Sailor Moon DVDs.
Yeah, it might be Deke or something like that. But but basically that series never got properly released, like on DVD or VHS or whatever. It was mainly like volumes and things.
Yeah.
But I think what happened is later on, Viz Media now have the rights to Sailor Moon, and
Yeah.
they
dubbing of it all, and there's new
yeah.
But actually, what I've heard is the characters are actually called by their Japanese names.
Yeah, the problem is back in the 90s, it was still fairly a brand new prospect of dubbing a Japanese anime, and
Yeah.
they didn't really go off the proper translated script. They kind of completely rewrote the show for Western audiences. So in doing that, you lost a lot of the character and the true feel of the show as it was originally supposed to be in Japan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They lost that.
Also, episodes have got more scenes in them in this new version. I've only seen clips. I would like to watch the show, and I think it's. But the only thing I don't like is Luna's new voice, because the British accent really suited her, the cat, and this new younger American voice actor doesn't really suit her at all.
No, I prefer Luna. I prefer Luna's voice from the original dub. Same with the rest of the characters, because I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Sailor Moon Crystal, which is essentially the Full Metal Alchemist version, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but it's kind of Sailor Moon, where pretty much it follows the manga much more closely, but at the same time it kind of touches upon the original show, because basically what happened is the manga was still going on in the 90s when this was being dubbed into English. So it got
Sailor Moon was one of the first mangas. I didn't start buying manga till 2009, and that's when I got into it. I bought Bleaches, and then when I heard that Sailor Moon ones were available, because I didn't even know Sailor Moon was a manga. I've got so many volumes, and I've also got the first volume of Sailor V, because apparently I think the manga actually started with Sailor V, and then led on to the character of Sailor Moon, because Sailor V is a franchise in the series before she's introduced, Sailor Venus.
Sorry about that. Yeah, basically, yeah. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to how it worked back then, is that they kind of with the original dub and everything, they kind of like just completely went off what it was originally supposed to be, and they did that. Basically, 4Kids. They were notorious for it. 4Kids Entertainment. They dubbed One Piece. They dubbed One Piece, and they dubbed Pokemon originally.
Pokemon, I remember that. I remember their logo on it. So.
Yeah, and they basically they pretty much dubbed quite a lot of stuff, but over time it's now gone to different companies, and all that. But they had a tendency of kind of purposely changing stuff. So like basically long story short, they used to censor a lot of things and take some out or re-edit it or something like that to make it not so. I don't know.
A lot of clips I've seen are from that first episode of the new Viz version of Sailor Moon, and there's a scene where Serena's brother kind of gets a bit violent with her that wasn't in the Beat version.
No, it wouldn't have been. Because the problem is, I mean, okay, it's a cartoon and it's for kids, but the problem is that in Japan, I understand Japan's different to us. Japan will cram as much as possible into it, regardless of who's watching it. If it's supposed to be for a kid, they will still make it fairly dark and they will kind of, I don't know, Japan. Don't get me wrong, they care about kid viewers and they don't want kids to be seeing something that's meant for an adult. But they're a little bit more freer with kind of putting certain elements in there, like maybe a weapon or a gun. For instance, like in Pokemon, there's an episode. It get dubbed, but they kind of 4Kids edited.
Is that the one where Ash goes to get the super potion for Pikachu, and he gets bombarded and shot by people with guns?
Yeah, there's an episode where a character has a gun in the Japanese version, or probably multiple episodes, I don't know. But in the 4Kids version, that episode did get dubbed, but it was edited out. So the guy literally points an empty hand at Ash. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's weird. That's just bad editing.
And also, sorry, go on.
There was an episode of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue back in 2000 that was completely cut from the Fox Kids lineup, and there was an episode where the Pink Ranger Dana is on this bus and it gets hijacked by a bloke with a gun, and he never uses the gun. But the reason why they added that in was to match the Sentai plot of the episode. But that episode was completely cut. That was never aired on Fox Kids, which made reasons why the following episode to it, it didn't really make sense because,
Well, that's it. I mean, I understand it's a kid's cartoon. You don't want to have that sort of realism in a child's cartoon, but the problem is you're dealing with a different country's animation style and the way of storytelling. And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with a character having a gun. But at the end of the day, it's a cartoon. It's not like it's real.
And they do say the word gun in it.
Yeah.
He ends up redeeming himself and saving the from a volcano.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, that was back then. It doesn't happen as much now. You don't really seem to get any anything edited out because, like, people like Funimation, Viz Media, Sentai Filmworks, or whatever, they kind of dub it as they kind of try to kind of stick to what it was in Japan, but just put it into English, pretty much.
Yeah, because I heard in the Go-Go 5 episode, Sentai Go-Go 5, actually the Pink Ranger does actually get shot. I don't think it kills her, but she gets shot or something, and she gets injured. Obviously, can't do that. Obviously, they can't do that in the westernized version.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, it's a little bit different now. I mean, obviously, back in the 90s and kind of maybe a little bit of the early thousands. I mean, like card captors, for instance. I loved card captors back in the 90s when I watched it. I personally loved it. But looking back at the English dub for that, they actually completely missed the mark on what that series was supposed to be. Card Captors, the dubbed version in the 90s, came over as this schoolgirl slice of life adventure comedy with a little bit of magical cards in there, and she has to fight them and so on and put them back into the cards, and that's pretty much the show. In Japan, it has a much darker tone, and it's not really about it. It's not. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There is cute moments, and there is comedy in the Japanese version, but the whole idea of Card Captors, or Card Captors Sakura, as it's known in Japan, its true title, Card Captors Sakura, is actually supposed to be much darker tone, and it's not all about the comedy, and it's not all about. It's a bit more of a darker tone series, but for some reason in the English dub one in the 90s, they just completely went off the beaten track. They just they re-scripted it.
Yeah, I mean, like the Digimon Tri films. I mean, they're somewhat darker. Even the westernized versions, they're somewhat darker than than Digimon Adventure 1 and 2 were. Clearly, because they're meant to appeal to audiences that grew up with it.
Well, that's right. I mean, yeah, the thing is about Digimon Adventure Tri, those movies is that they are purposely meant to be darker because they're older, and it's aimed at an older audience, not at the. Because don't get me wrong, the reason why it's aimed at an older audience or mature, a bit more of a mature audience, is because the fans that grew up with Digimon in the first place are going to be in their late to early 30s, late 20s, early 30s. And they are marketing these movies at probably for about 15-year-old kids, around about that, 15 upwards. And they are much darker toned because there's a reason for it. They're older. It's meant for an older audience. And it's just that the whole idea of those movies was to kind of celebrate the history and bring back the original crew. And that's the whole idea of them. But they're meant to be for the fans that grew up with it, but at the same time, to reintroduce people that have never seen Digimon before.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't necessarily have to have seen, the original series. I think new audiences, they wouldn't necessarily have to have seen the original series to get kind of what's going on.
Not really. I mean, you kind of need to know what the hell's going on, because it does kind of back onto the original adventure, the adventure one. It does kind of back on to that series. Certain things that is mentioned and brought up is reference to when they was in the digital world as kids, but for the most part, it is a new adventure as when they're older, so you can still kind of watch it, and you can kind of understand what they're talking about from past tense stuff and to present stuff. You can kind of understand it. It's not difficult to understand. But I need to get the final part. I haven't got it yet, and I haven't watched it, so I need to finally finish it all off and see what. But what I'm going to do is when I get the final part, I'm going to watch all of them together, back to back, because I can't remember what happened before.
You can actually buy. I mean, if you've got the first 5, it's not really worth it. But you can buy a Blu-ray box set of all 6 of them.
Yeah, but there's no point. I mean, I've got all 5, but I ain't got the last one. But I've got all of them anyway, so singles.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's get back on track, and that Jonathan's come back with a few more questions. Excuse me. So thank you to Jonathan in Mexico for these. So he asks a few more questions. 2 more, pretty much. What is your favourite chapter of MLP? So Sam, there's one before. I think there's one before that actually. I don't know, but anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, what is your favourite chapter, or maybe favourite season, or 2-parter, whatever you, from MLP the show? So, Sam, do you want to start off?
Will do.
When he's ready.
I think my all-time favourite episode. I've got a few, really, but if I'm being honest, my all-time favourite episode is Lunar Eclipsed, because that is the episode that really introduced Luna as a character, and it's very much a strong story in that episode about her sort of redemption and her coming back after Nightmare Moon, and I just love that episode because that episode, in a way, really points out what the show's about. It's all about friendship. It's all about redemption. It's all about good things happening. That's definitely one of my all-time favourite episodes. I'd have to say my second all-time favourite episode, another episode I could watch again and again, is season 5, and it's the episode where the Cutie Mark Crusaders finally get the Cutie Marks.
That's what I was going to say.
That episode is brilliant. The music, the songs, the story, just that episode is just so beautifully done. It is super. It is great. And episode 3, last one, my third favourite episode of all time, has got to be the episode about Applejack's parents. That is so beautiful.
Yeah,
that is a thumbs up. That is a brilliant episode. That's my third.
Yeah, that was a beautifully well written and very touching episode. That very good. So Lawrence, same question. What were your favourite?
Obviously, up to a certain point, I would say Lunar Eclipse. But the ones I've seen since, certainly the one where the Crusaders achieved their cutie marks, because that kind of represents a sense of achievement, that they didn't give up and they kept trying, and that eventually they got what they wanted. I would say, what was the one that they go into the forest and Fluttershy becomes like a vampire thing and turns on them?
Oh, Vampire Fluttershy.
Flutterbat.
Yes, that's the one.
What season was that in? I forgot.
I think that was season 2, I think.
Yeah,
I thought it was a bit beyond that, because that was one I remember watching last time I was in Poland with my dad.
Or it might be season 4.
I had barely anything to do, so I spent so much of the time just watching MLP. I watched a full season and a bit, actually, while I was there. I was sat on there.
It could be maybe season 3 or 4. Maybe that was in. I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyway, so pretty much the episode with Flutterbat.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think the bit is at the end of season 2 where Twilight earns her wings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely that one as well. Because that's a real stage of development for her. And also, it answered a question for me. How come one plush I've got doesn't have her wings, and I've got one that does have wings, and now I know the reason why? She doesn't get them till midway through.
Yeah. So, any others that your favourites that you can think of, or? I know you're only up to season 6, but
possibly,
later.
Possibly, what is the one where I think Fluttershy is left to babysit the Crusaders or something, or look after animals for Applejack?
I can't remember the episodes or seasons, to be honest. I've not watched a lot of the late, beginning seasons for a while. But anyway, yeah, I get your point. And I'm sure people watching will get your point as well.
Yeah.
So, 9... Sorry.
I like also Pinkie Pie based episodes, because I just like her character, how funny and bubbly she is.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for me, I'll have to say every episode that features Sunset Glimmer and Trixie, when those two become friends, that the episodes later on, I don't think you've seen those episodes yet, Lawrence.
No.
But it's a bit more season 7 and season 8. You see that more.
Obviously, I do like Trixie as a character, because I bought the plush last year in Birmingham. So.
Yeah, but when you get to season 7, once you start working with for season 7, it gets a little bit more. Well, especially Starlight Glimmer. Sorry, she gets much more involved in the story, and from season 7 onwards, and Trixie becomes real great friends with Starlight Glimmer later as it progresses, and there's some really great episodes. One of my favourites is when Starlight Glimmer, I've forgotten the episode title, but I think it's in season 7 or season 8. No, it might be season 8 actually. I don't know. I get mixed up. But anyway, so it's basically a Starlight and Starlight. I get it mixed up with Sunset. Starlight Glimmer and Trixie episode, and it's an episode where basically Starlight is getting really, really angry at Trixie. She's trying to teach Trixie these powers, these basically how to do magic and that, and Trixie ends up accidentally zapping the map to somewhere else, and Starlight is just literally completely freaking out, and Twilight's supposed to be coming back soon with the rest of the main characters, and she's literally freaking out. She can't find where the map is, and then literally at the same time she gets really, really angry, and she just kind of like has this like red, it's like she has to kind of try to contain this red negative energy that's emitting from her horn, I think, or something, because she's just enraged and really annoyed at Trixie. So Trixie keeps messing up and doing all these mistakes, and they end up Starlight ends up accidentally enslaving Granny Smith and a few others of the characters, and they become like these mindless zombie kind of characters, and start chasing Starlight Glimmer back and forth and everything. It's one of the funniest episodes I've watched of the newer stuff, and every single episode I've seen with that being more or less Starlight and Trixie are just absolutely hilarious for me. I absolutely love them together. And also in Equestria Girls, I know this is completely off topic, but in Equestria Girls is Sunset Shimmer and Trixie are now best friends in the later stuff. So it's kind of like a reversal thing in both parts. But yeah, so those episodes would have to be favourites. I definitely have to go with both of your opinion on season 2. The two-parter for season 2 is my favourite. And also the crystal, the wedding, basically the wedding episode where Chrysalis comes into it for the first time. That has to be favourites as well.
Is that the beginning of season 6? I think I've seen that.
No.
Just to weigh in on that, and I was just thinking about what you were saying, John. It just made me think: is Starlight Glimmer is her, shall we say, natural calling, her natural ability with magic? Is it quite possibly, literally, the ability to control ponies and other beings and manipulate their very being and their very essence? Because if you think about it, she clearly has a natural ability to mess with and even manipulate cutie marks, and she clearly has a natural ability to effectively brainwash and control other ponies. So is that her natural ability? Is that her natural gift in magic?
Yeah, it could be. You could be right. It's yes, she's a very interesting character. I mean, when she first came into, I think is it season 6 that she comes into it for the first time?
It's season 4 because it's literally.
Hello?
Sam's froze.
Because the cutie mark map comes into it in end of season 4. Season 5 is when Starlight's first introduced.
Oh, right, okay. I get mixed up with the seasons, to be honest. I keep thinking like Starlight's a bit much later on, but she's actually a bit earlier in. But yeah, I mean, when she first came into it, Starlight, I didn't like her, and nobody else liked her. Not many people liked her when she first came into it as a villain.
No.
But then, when she came into it in season 5 as she was defeated, and she started kind of making it up to the rest of the main characters, and she became a good person or a good pony, or whatever, a good character, or whatever. And then she just really came into her own. The development around her character and her storytelling was absolutely fantastic. And right up to now, she's done some really great things that other characters probably haven't done at all of the other main characters. She's kind of changed the whole changeling empire when there's no more changelings. Well, there is changelings, but they're now changed and become different things now, and kind of defeated Chrysalis without the help of anyone else. That episode with Discord and basically when they go to kind of defeat. Basically, it's an episode with Chrysalis in it anyway. Later on, and it involves Discord and I think Trixie. Yeah, I think Trixie and Trixie and Starlight. And they pretty much have to save Twilight and the others that have been imprisoned by the changelings. And obviously that is when they all change. And obviously not many fans like the whole idea of the changelings becoming changing and looking real weird. And I don't like it either. That season 6, I think season 6, that was the finale, whatever.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was season 6. Look, I just want to throw something out, lads. Mark your calendars, Lawrence, John. Mark your calendars. It's 3 weeks today. The tickets for PonyCon go on sale.
Okay, yeah, cool.
As I was saying earlier to you, John, I'm going to do my best to get one. I'm pretty sure if I'm right, I'll actually get paid the day before the tickets go on sale.
Right. When actually is the convention?
The convention is in October. I believe it's. Hang on, I'll get the dates. I think it's the 12th to the 13th, the 13th to the 14th.
Is the event on for 2 days?
Yeah, 12th of October to the 13th of October. So yeah, it's a weekend, 2 days. Obviously, it takes place in Nottingham Conference Centre.
Yeah, it's Nottingham, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm 100% really wanting to go. The problem I've got is basically at work, we're still waiting for head office to release the next year's holidays. For us,
I know that
run from September to September. So obviously, PonyCon is in the bracket of next year's holiday dates. Now, I'm just going to buy a weekend ticket for it as soon as they're available, because I say I get paid the day before they release them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd really like to go. The thing is, I've not been the best financially lately. I've had to cut into some savings to help pay for some things. But I'm obviously I should have enough for TF Nation. The point is, because it's in Nottingham. I mean, ideally, what I could do is I could come home, but it would still be like a half an hour's train journey there each day. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd really like to go. How much would the tickets likely be?
£37 for a weekend pass.
Yeah, it's a real pity you can't really buy sort of joint tickets for groups of people.
Let me have a look, because I'm not. Let's have a look at that. You never know. It's something worth having a look at.
If it's something we could all contribute, maybe it could be done. How do you feel about that, John?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was thinking to myself, Lawrence, that if we did do it, I mean, at the moment, I'm in the same predicament as you. I'm jobless, out of work, trying to find a job, and money isn't really that great at the moment. My financial situation is terrible, but TFN is booked. Well, it's not fully booked. I've managed to kind of get a hotel. A friend's going to help me out with a space in a hotel, so I'm going to be sharing with other people, so it makes it cheaper. And also,
you're staying at the Metropole, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that. You probably know that Sam and I were staying at the Garden Inn Hilton, which isn't so far away.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
I think Sam told me and himself, but yeah, I mean, getting back onto this this convention that Sam's on about. I mean, it's not until October, so
just to warn you both, if you do want to come, it would be best advised to buy. I appreciate financial situations, lads. I fully appreciate it, but if either of you two do want to go, serious here, because I've just been reading the website. I would heavily recommend that you buy the tickets the day of release, which will be, as I said, 13th of April, because basically they sold out their tickets last year and the year before pretty much on the day they were released. So realistically, if you want to go, you need to buy tickets the day they're released.
They would sell them quite quickly.
I generally want to go because, like I said, I've never ever been to a pony convention. I want to just get myself sorted if I can and go.
Well, how about it? I mean, and this. I mean, this is just my opinion on this. If it's true, like you just said, I mean, I don't know. In 3 weeks down the line, I don't know how available I'll be. You never know. I might get back into work in that time frame. I doubt it, but you know what I mean. I don't know. Things are
Yeah,
all over the
you never
place.
know what's going to happen.
Yeah, same with Lawrence, and same with yourself, Sam. Things
I'll tell you
change.
what, Sam. There could be something. You know that about that £200 that you owe me for TFN. Maybe if you could get me a ticket out of that, and maybe you could just give me like 160 at TFN or something.
Yeah, if you're happy with that.
I mean, how would you feel about that?
I could certainly do that. I mean, if I put it this way, mate, if I bought two weekend passes, that would be about £72 altogether.
Yeah.
If you were to split that into the equal amounts, that would be £37. So if we took off the 200, that would be about £163 in total I would owe you. I mean, if you're happy to do that, if you're happy to do that, Lawrence, I could, like I said, I could go and buy 2 tickets. So let me just check the website though on ticket deals, because I don't want to.
Yeah,
I'll just have a quick look, mate, because the last thing I want to do is find out that I'll end up with 2 tickets in my name, and then that kind of screws you over. So I'll just check.
Would you have to put like it's in the name of someone else, or
I'll have a look, mate. 1 sec. I'll get back to you in a minute. I'll just have a quick read. Tickets.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna nip down for a fag, okay?
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, to be honest, what Lawrence was saying, I was kind of getting to that point myself. Like, maybe one person, you're checking, but maybe if one person is the nominee, and you buy 3 tickets, and I pay you what I owe you, and that way we're all booked for the event. That's what I was thinking. Is like all 3 of us essentially, I mean, like I say, Lawrence doesn't know what he's going to be doing in 3 weeks, and I don't know what I'm doing either.
See if there's any. And let me just check facts and questions, because it does state on here. Tickets are non-transferable. Proof of ID is required. I mean, I'd assume. I don't know if there's any way you put them in different names. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Would I be able to if I could send you proof of ID? Would that work?
Ticket details. They don't send printed tickets. Please print your ticket order confirmation email and ensure that you have the email on a mobile, or ensure you have it on an email device, a mobile device. Show proof of ID matching the name on the order. UK person who when you arrive at UK Podium, the person who placed the order will need to show proof of ID. To speed things, such as passport, driver license. Okay, so speed things up, please also have one of the following documents ready to use. Obviously, confirmation email, PayPal receipt, replacement order confirmation. Yes, obviously that. If your ticket has been purchased for you by someone else, and they will not be collecting the tickets, they should have entered your name in the additional information input box during checkout. If not, please ask them to email us as soon as possible. Right, so if I ordered a ticket for, say, both you and John, I would obviously have to put your names in the information.
Yeah.
For that. Anything else out there that I need to know about? Yeah, so basically, if I bought 3 tickets, I'd just have to note down, obviously, your and Lawrence's names, and imagine they would be involved on the tickets. Obviously, I would have to be the person that provided ID on the door and as the payee of the tickets.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, if I did buy the tickets, or 3 of them, hang on, let's have a look here.
Well, 2 of them will be about 70 quid. It'll be 150 quid.
It'd be £111 altogether.
There we go.
For 3 tickets.
I'll be able to pay you back my half, and obviously, no.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure I get paid the day before the tickets get released. I'm sure of it. If I've worked it out right.
What day do they get released?
The 13th of April, which is a. Hang on, I'm pretty sure it's a Friday. Let's have a look here. 13th of April. Yeah, no, that's a Saturday. I'm pretty sure I get paid on the 12th of April. Sure of it.
I get paid on the 12th as well.
Sure, it's the 12th.
I get my, unless I'm still claiming benefits, things change. But basically, I get paid my money on the 12th of every month.
Bear with me, I can check.
And it'll go in on the. It'll go in on the Friday because obviously it's the weekend, you see. So on the same day as you, Sam, I'll be getting mine as well because of how it falls.
Have a look. I'll see what the date was on my pay from Primark.
Just a shout out to you, Jonathan, from Mexico. We will answer the rest of your questions very shortly. Lawrence is just having a bit of a break, having a bit of a fag break, and we're just kind of waiting for him to come back, and we will answer the rest of the questions you sent us. So thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm on phone. How much paid here?
Well, I don't have to check, Sam, because if I'm still claiming.
Hang on, let me just crunch some dates here. Right, 1, 2, 3. Alright, now I'm looking at the wrong date here. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I do get paid on the 12th, so I do get paid literally the day before the tickets go live. And the tickets go live. I don't know if they've got a time on here. It'll be British Standard Time because it's in Britain, so they'll have an actual time.
They usually go about noon. Usually.
Yeah, it's usually about between 12 and 1, isn't it? Hang on, let me just quickly 2 secs. I've got them on the Twitter feed. Let me have a look. So they've probably got a time on there.
Plus, with it being a Friday, that'll be about right. Going live about 12.
Saturday, mate. It's Saturday that they go live. I get paid the Friday before, so the day before.
Oh, right. Right, okay. Well, I get paid on the 12th as well. You said April, yeah?
Yeah, April.
So that's when I get paid next 12th.
Right, let's just have a quick look here.
I mean, to be honest, it shouldn't be too difficult to save for this other convention because, I mean, it's Nottingham. It's not
midday British Standard Time, so that's basically 12 o'clock. Anywhere between 12 and 1 that they'll be going up.
Yeah,
right, let's just wait for Lawrence to get back. Then we'll have a little bit of a chat, mate.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, like I say, I mean, if we had like an appointee, which will be you, Sam, in this situation, it would be a lot easier just to kind of, buy them all at once, and then you just add our names and additional information. If there's any issues, let me know, and I'll try and book mine separately, and you just do you and Lawrence if there's any issues. But I can't see there will be. I mean, to be honest, I mean, getting money for that other convention, it'll be quite straightforward, really, because for the most part, I don't really think I'll be spending anything. I'll just be going there just to see what it's like. And plus, if you think about it, me, you, and Lawrence sharing a hotel room for a couple of days, it'll bring down the price quite a lot. It'd be cheaper for me and Lawrence because we're both in the same boat.
Yeah, well, so let's just wait till Lawrence gets back, then we'll just talk this because, yeah, like I said, we could arrange it. Something else actually, I just need to check real quick as well.
And Lawrence is back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Right. Lawrence, John, here is the situation. So, the tickets go on sale on the 13th of April between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. If I were to order 3 tickets, that would be £111.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to obviously include your and John Lawrence, both your names, in the additional info section to state that 2 of those tickets were obviously one for you, one for you. Obviously, I would have to be there to present ID as the buyer of the tickets on the day to obviously get us all in. Short story, long story, if both of you are basically 100% committed to going, I will be happy to fork out for the tickets. Obviously, I would be required that you pay me back for the tickets.
Yeah, well, as I say, Sam, I definitely want to go. The thing is, if you're happy with that agreement to take it out of the TF Nation payment, then in that case, I can bring my ID. If.
Well, I always have a type of ID on me. I've got my driver's license in my wallet, so if they need any ID from myself, I've got it as well. And don't worry, Sam, I'll pay you back. I'm not Tony. It's not like I'm going to string you along for about 6 months trying to get my money back. But yeah, like I was mentioning to Sam Lawrence when he was just away for a minute, if we do well, when Sam gets the tickets for us, in order, like me and you, Lawrence, are in the same boat. We're looking for work and everything, this, that, and the other, and funds aren't very great. But what I was thinking about is that when we come to book a hotel for it in Nottingham, I know you was on about going back and forth, but I was thinking about all 3 of us share the.
Yes, that's what I was just. Yes, all 3 of us could share.
Yeah, if all 3 of us share a hotel room for a couple of days, that'll bring down the cost a lot. 3 of us to 1 room, and say if it was a Holiday Inn or a Premier Inn or something like that, and they're a lot cheaper and reasonable compared to a Hilton. And
exactly. I mean, like the place I stayed in Doncaster was I think it was a B&B when I went for Digicon last year.
I mean, Nottingham. I mean, I've not been to Nottingham that often, but I can't see it being that expensive for a hotel.
No, I mean the only hotel I've stayed in there before is the Ibis, but clearly they'd still be quite expensive. I mean, not as much as the Hiltons, but
yeah. Well, I think
they're pretty cheap.
No, they are cheaper than other hotels. But if you think about it, split between 3, Just think of it that way.
Yeah, so how much would we be looking at? Sort of, would we be able to get it for like £100 between us or something?
Maybe
for a hotel,
because well, if you think about it, this convention's a weekend, so probably get there on the Friday or whatever you want to do, Thursday or Friday, and maybe 3 or 4 days split between 3 of us. But we'll see how it goes. The thing is, with a hotel, you can just book it in advance and pay on the day. You don't have to worry about the money, really. I'm pretty sure that'll work as well, like it does.
Checking travel.
Well, travelling won't be an issue for me because I can get a train straight from here to Nottingham. It'll take about 40 to 45 minutes.
Well, we've got a straight run to Nottingham as well from Hull, because Nottingham's not far from Hull. It's only about 2 hours, max of 2 hours.
From here, from Market Harbour, the train I would get stops at Leicester, Loughborough, Beeston, then Nottingham.
Hmm. Well, basically, there's a straight. Basically, we can get a. I don't know if it might be maybe one change. I'm not too sure, but usually when it comes to Hull trains or our trains, the change, if you wanted to go past Doncaster or go all the way to London or whatnot, or Birmingham, for instance, it's usually either Doncaster or Sheffield where you change and go onto another train. That's usually how it works. If you want to go further track, you've got to change.
Hopefully there won't be any works on the lines on the day, because like when I went up to Doncaster last February, I had to do an extra journey because basically they had a coach in place to take us to Leicester, which took considerably longer because it normally takes only from Harbour, it takes 10-15 minutes on the train to get to Leicester.
John,
because on that,
what's the coach we usually get to Birmingham?
National Express.
That's what I'm thinking of.
As I say, traveling won't be an issue for me because it's not that expensive a return to Nottingham. So if you guys were to get the coach, I could just meet you there.
Yeah.
And I know Nottingham fairly well, so because my uncle used to live there.
Well, it's not that far from me. I think it's about the same duration as it would be from Hull to Manchester. I think it's. I don't know. I'm not very good with my judgmenting of.
Yeah. But Lizzie doesn't live too far from Nottingham, does she?
No. Well, she lives not that far away from you, so you're probably about the same travel time.
If we went by National Express to Nottingham, it would be far cheaper than by train. I'll have to double check all this, but we could actually get a National Express to Nottingham for about 30 quid, whereas a train's going to be about 50 quid and it's going to be about 3 or 4 changes on the way, whereas obviously straight to by National Express.
Just go by National Express then, Sam. It's just easier. A lot easier.
That stops at Nottingham Street Station.
And then we'll put
train station.
Yeah,
that's the main train station. I could just meet you there.
Yeah, and then we're just all free. If you meet, if Lawrence meets us at Nottingham coach or train station or interchange or whatever it is, then all 3 of us can just share a taxi to the hotel.
Yeah,
and then find out where the convention's been held. I think it's just easier to do it like that. I think if we got there, say the Thursday or Friday, the day or 2 before the event, it'll give us enough time to kind of get acquainted with our surroundings. I mean, Lawrence, you probably might know a bit more about Nottingham than me and Sam does. But
yeah, I haven't been for several years, but I used to go there a lot because I used to be able to go as far as Nottingham on the train for free when I had a pass, but unfortunately the bloody council cut it. But I used to go to Nottingham for shopping when I wanted to go somewhere different other than Leicester.
I mean, I've been to Nottingham. I think I went to Nottingham Forest to see Hull City versus Nottingham Forest years ago, but that's as far. I mean, I think I've been to Nottingham years ago when I was a bit younger.
Yeah,
but
Nottingham's a nice place.
yeah,
It's got a bit of a rough reputation in the last few years, but it is a nice city.
everywhere's got a rough reputation. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, Leicester's got a bit of a rough one as well, but everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, there's chavs around everywhere in the city centre.
Oh yeah,
Always asking for.
they're everywhere.
It's not that far. The coach station isn't too far from the actual convention centre.
That's good then. It's right in the city centre then. That's good. And then if we can.
The convention centre is on Burton Street, and the coach station is. Let me just work this out. That's that.
This MLP event is just more like it's not like a full-on convention, really, is it? Like where they're going to have several events and stuff, not like TF Nation. So
No, it's
you wouldn't need spending money or.
Well, there's going to be sellers and stuff there, but it's largely going to be like, I think it's going to be more like artists and like
a bit more of a community feel.
Yeah, you'll be able to buy stuff, but there won't be like big guests or anything.
No, and there won't be like big extra things like sort of like the ClubCon thing they do at TFN or stuff like that.
There won't be anything like that.
No, I mean it's basically it's just a celebration of the community, and they kind of do like things about YouTube. I mean, the thing is, they might get some special YouTubers to go because there's a YouTuber called Ellie Monty, and she goes to UK PonyCon. She went last year. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but
right. Just to confirm, John. Sorry for interrupting you, mate. If basically the Nottingham coach station is on Collins Street, if we left the coach station, went across, basically turned left up Collins Street, which then takes you straight onto Maid Marian Way, go all the way to the Premier Inn on the roundabout of Maid Marian Way, and then the place where it is literally round the corner from the Premier Inn, which is at the top of Maid Marian Way, which is just down the street from the coach station. So we've literally, if we were able to sort of either get booked in at the Premier Inn or the Travel Lodge nearest the coach station, we'd literally be just round the corner from the convention centre.
Right, which one's cheaper?
Hang on, let me have a look here.
I mean, I know both Premier Inn.
Travel Lodge is usually a little bit cheaper than the Premier Inn anyway.
Well, go with Travel Lodge then. I ain't bothered where we stay, as long as we've got a place to put our head down for the night.
Yeah,
Travel Lodge would be cheaper by at least £10.
I think we'd be looking at £50 a night. I'd say about standard, about 55 to 60 quid a night. I'd say
for all three of us, that is.
That's per night, and then how many nights you want to stay for, split between three.
So altogether, we could be looking at 240 quid if we were to go for 4 nights.
Well, we'll see what Sam finds first. Yeah, around about that, I'd say about a couple of hundred for a hotel. I mean, prices change all the time.
Yeah.
But as long as you can get an idea.
All right, let's just see if I can work this out here.
I actually spoke to Nicole Hale earlier in America today. She said she was hoping she could make TFN this year.
Cool. I heard she was a bit undecided.
Yeah. I assume Timey will be going because he normally does, doesn't he?
I've heard rumours he's probably not going because apparently, excuse me, I think Sam Skye, I think it is, not Sam Skye. I think there's a wedding going on or something this year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think someone's getting married. I think he's either moving house or I don't know, something. Tony told me apparently there's a couple of things happening, and I don't know if he can quite afford TFN as well. But you never know, things change. I mean, he said he wasn't going last year, but he ended up going.
Right.
I said I wasn't going at first, but it looks like I am now. I'm going to make it there. Even if I don't have any money to spend, at least I can get there. I mean, the toys don't really... I'm not that bothered about the toys. As long as I can get there and have a good time with people. At least I have enough money to kind of get food and drink, so at least I can get something to eat and that.
It would work out at about £315.
So how much is it per night?
Well, it varies. The total amount would work out at £315. Because Friday night would be £76, Saturday night is £118, Sunday would be £34.
Okay, now that's a travel lodge.
Yeah, but it may
expensive,
the Saturday would be expensive because the Saturday would be like a main day. You always get at least one day in the week on any hotel, no matter what it is, where it's going to be more expensive than the others. Friday and Saturday are always expensive because they're end of week dates, and because you're looking at a business sort of area, they're going to be a bit more pricey.
Right, so that's just how much. So right, how many days did you put in?
It's 3 days, maybe. I'm doing Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. They're coming on Monday.
What do you want to do, Lawrence? Do you want to just do 3 nights or 4 nights?
We would still be at the convention on the Sunday, wouldn't we? What time was the actual event finished?
Probably about 5 o'clock, I think.
Well, in that, because what I could do, I could go home on the Sunday night. In terms of what would you guys do? Because I know it's considerably longer for you.
Well, what we can do is we can just all, it's up to you when you want to go home, Lawrence. We're not gonna, if you want to go home after the event on the Sunday, you can do to save yourself some cash. But well, the problem is, if all 3 of us are paying for 3 nights, 3 days, whatever. But it's up to you. Personally, I don't mind. Obviously, when we're getting there on the Friday, it's a Saturday, Sunday thing. As long as we can get there the day before or whatever, so we can find our way around.
Yeah.
Get acquainted with the area, and then obviously me and Sam will come home on the Monday.
It'd be about £105 each.
That's not bad.
That isn't really.
That's what I was suggesting. Yeah, that's what I came to. I think, well, yeah, if we were all willing to pay that,
statistically, because obviously the way it works, we could go ahead and book this hotel right now, and of course we wouldn't have to pay anything until the day we go. Because just thinking ahead here, I know I might be rushing it a bit, but again, I don't know what the hotel would be like in a few weeks' time after the tickets are launched.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I could book it right now. I wouldn't have to pay anything. If I booked it on the flexible rate, which basically means you don't, if I'm right, you don't pay anything till the day you arrive. Let me have a look here. Yeah, if I'm right, you won't pay anything till the day you arrive. If I'm correct on that.
I'll tell you what I could do, Sam. Obviously, still have some money for me on the day. What I could do is, while we're at TFN, I could give you my share for that just before we go for TFN, before we leave TFN. And that means I would be sorted. And depending on what you guys want to do, because I would rather give you my share personally a bit in advance to know it's safe.
Yeah.
So I would save. I mean,
have a look at the booking details here.
When is this event? It says October, did you say?
Yeah, October 12th to 13th.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of time to save money for it anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe once TFN's out the way, at least it gives us about 2 months. And plus, no doubt, I'll have a little bit. I want to try and have some money after TFN as well, so that'll add to whatever else I can put together.
Yeah.
The only thing is, Sam, we'll probably miss Hull Fair. Because that weekend is probably when Hull Fair.
This could be the last MLP event officially celebrating Friendship is Magic, wouldn't it? So
they'll still be celebrating it in years to come, but this year is obviously the last season. 9's the last season.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, obviously, I only live really in a market town. I mean, the only big events we have really, the Summer Carnival, and we have an arts fresco, and then we have late night shopping in December for Christmas. We don't.
Oh dear.
I need you on this.
Yeah.
So you know the bloke Jim that goes to TFN? I think he comes from Mexico.
Yeah.
He'll probably go again, won't he, this year? Probably.
Possibly. I mean, I don't know who's coming and who isn't. I mean, I only know from our circle, which is you, Lawrence, Sam, me, and Tony. Anyone on the outside of that, obviously, I know the people that I'm sharing with are going as well, which is Chris Evans, Matt Grant, someone else, I've forgotten his name now, I apologise, and myself. So there's going to be 4 of us sharing at TFN. And
you're in a room with 3 other people.
Sorry?
You're in a room with 3 other people then?
Yeah. Well, basically, Chris Evans, he gets military discount because of it. He's part of the RAF, and he books just before he books his hotel because he gets discount. He gets discount whatever because of that, and it works out about the same discount. But it works out the same as a discounted rate that TFN do.
Yeah.
So what he does is he books it a little bit before the tickets go on sale. The hotel, and he always books an executive room, and it's a family one, and he kind of just. But what the awesome thing is that it'll save me money, and it'll save us all money that are in there, because I can invite you, Lawrence, and Sam, and whoever else into the executive bar for 2 hours of free booze.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if we'll be able to go in because we're staying at a different hotel. But
no, we'll still be able to go in.
You'll be able to go in.
You should get executive lounge access as well.
Yeah, you and me. I'll have my own pass to get into the executive round because there's 4 of us. I'll be able to get you in. Don't worry, I've got connections. And also, we also get 20% off at the bar as well, sir.
Discount at the bar.
It came in last year, 20% off at the bar if you show your pass. Yeah. So we'll get cheaper booze and food. But anyway,
to be honest, those pizzas they do actually were very good.
I had a pizza last year. Wasn't bad.
I say we definitely go to TJ Burgers we should go to TJ Burgers on Thursday night, shouldn't we? And
can do. I'll go to TGI Fridays and watch Sammy devour a burger of hunger again. That'd be funny. Excuse me.
I need to plug my charger in. Laptop's about to die.
So then, Lawrence, while I'm sorting stuff out,
yeah.
What have you got anything planned for the rest of your weekend?
To be honest, no. Obviously we've got the dog coming home tomorrow, and I've got to obviously see my mum because I've just got to keep help her out a bit because she's come out of hospital.
Yeah.
And other than that, just not really much. Probably just chill, make some more videos. I'm making a lot more videos now.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, you're doing well.
Because now I can make those capture videos because I have a capture card to do game capture with. I can now capture off retro consoles as well because I've got an AV HDMI adapter.
Cool.
Yeah, just need to keep an eye on money because I've spent a bit more in the past couple of weeks. Due to the fact, because things haven't been easy, obviously, with my mum not being there. So also, I've had this major temptations at that stall on the market. I need to keep away from it a bit.
Yeah,
they've got so many. They've got figures, like they found like that Masked Rider figure I posted a picture of. I've been looking for a Masked Rider figure for years, and I finally found one. It was £5 because this bloke's got things like G1 Transformers for £5 to £8. He's got Sega. He's got all kinds of retro games, retro consoles. He's got comics, mangas. He's got plushies, all different types of plushies.
Cool.
So my only hope is that he does well enough to keep it going because this town needs something like that. He's got games specifically from Japan. He's got Japanese versions of games as well. Not so many, but I spoke to him. He says he's actually got a Japanese PS2 with a UK adapter for it.
Cool.
I would be tempted by that because he's got a Japanese Gundam game. But I got a Japanese DS game, which is quite good. It's a bit like Pokemon. Clearly, I can't understand the text, but it's not difficult to get the hang
of. Yeah, it's always a bit thingy when you've got like a new place popping up. It's very hard to not get tempted.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know it was there. I was just in the market a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, blimey, that's all. So I went in and had a look, and they've got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of old figures like Power Rangers, even Masked Rider. I'll have a look to see if he has any Beetle balls or stuff like that. Basically, kind of like a mini sort of Forbidden Planet thing, but they sell things. They sell old second-hand things that you wouldn't be able to find in many places. Considerably, those things would be cheaper than they probably go for on Amazon. I mean, he's got like lots of G1 Transformers. That's where I found that Gargamon figure from. He's got other Digimon's things. So I bought a few Sega Mega Drive games off him.
Cool. Yeah, well, in Hull, we've got it mainly is a more of an adult collector's place, so the whatever. But the prices are absolutely ridiculous, really expensive.
Yeah.
They sell like play arts and things like that, and pop vinyls and all sorts of stuff. It's really small, but it's that's only been around for about a year now. Well, not even a year. I've also got an arcade area now as well.
So, do you still use your classic mini NES, John?
I haven't played it for a while. I've actually disconnected it to kind of put my what was it? I disconnected. I can't remember now. But I had to. I've only got space for two. I've only got two HDMI ins on my
I've got
TV.
3.
Guys,
Yep.
there's a slight issue. Travel Lodge doesn't allow you to basically book and pay on the day. Basically, if we booked at Travel Lodge, it would be 300 quid straight out. I can't afford to book that straight away. I don't have the money to put that out. However, we could book right now at the Premier Inn, which is just up the street.
How much would that?
It would be a little bit more. It would be. Hang on, where's my info gone here? It'd work out at £100 more, which would, for the split between us, would work out at. Let me just work this out here.
There's always something, isn't there?
I know.
It'd work out at £142 each.
That's still not too bad.
So realistically, it's only going to cost us an extra 30 quid each to do the Premier Inn, which would allow us to literally book the hotel today. And I could book it now. I wouldn't get charged because obviously on their rate, on their flexible rate, you pay on arrival. So basically, I could book it now, but I wouldn't pay a thing until the day we arrive.
I'll just go for that
right then. If that's the case, what I will do is I will make.
Interrupting, Lawrence. There's one other thing I need to mention here as well, just so you know. The Premier Inn, they don't do large enough rooms for 3 people, so the way I'd have to book it would be 1 twin room and a single room that possibly might be connected together, I'd assume. So the chances are at least one person would be sleeping on their own, or at least in an adjacent room next to the one 2 people would be in.
Yeah.
Well, we've got no other choice. So just book that, Sam. Just book it. We've got plenty of time for all of us to put some money together.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'll book it now because, like I said, I won't get charged and it's flexible and we can change it or cancel it if we need to, and it'll just be there. And I'll just do that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll get the hotel.
I will make sure I've got my share saved to give you at the end of TFN.
Right, so that just to confirm for you both, lads, that will be the Premier Inn on Chapel Bar, which is literally let's go back. It's literally next to the actual conference centre where they're going to be. Basically, Chapel Bar's right on the roundabout. You turn right at the roundabout, walk up the street, and then at the end of that street, it's on the left-hand side. So it's literally across the street from where the convention is.
All right, I'll tell you what, Sam. What might make it easy for you? Do you just want to take the whole thing out of your TF Nation thing that you owe me? That might be easy for you, mightn't it?
That's entirely up to you, mate. I'm
happy to do that because that way. That way my share's there and done for both.
I mean,
you just have to save an extra couple of £100.
that'd be, as I said, that would be
Because with
142 quid. So if I took that out, I would only be paying you, let's say, about 68
quid.
Yeah,
68.
Let's say £140.
It'd be about 58 quid, wouldn't it?
140. So that would be £60 out of that. Hang on.
To be honest, I'm fine with that. That just means I have to save a few extra, a couple of extra £100, which wouldn't be a problem. I mean,
Right, well, look, 2 secs, lads. Let me just get this booked and it's done, yeah? Then we'll discuss the details in a sec. Let's just sort this out so it's done. See, this is the great thing about video chat. We can actually do stuff like this because we can arrange it while on a video chat. Right, okay. So, let me just bring that through. Okay.
sorry for interrupting you there, Sam.
No, it's all right, mate.
Yeah.
Say hello, Mindy. Mindy's on the chat. Mindy Puss is on the chat.
Yeah. Oh, Mindy Puss, what you doing? Be careful, she's a fair long, mate. She might eat you.
Yeah. You should see our cat, Tinkerbell. She's my mum's cat, well, kind of still my pet as well. She's very standoffish, she is.
Yeah, she just wants attention, don't you? Yeah, she wants attention. Good girl, are you? Yeah? You lay down. If you want to, lads, I don't know if you want to kind of call it a night when we're about 1 o'clock.
That's it. Don't jump the phone yet, mate.
No, we're not yet. I just said about 1 o'clock. We've got half an hour. It's not going to take that long for you to book a hotel. Make sure you proofread and double read before you book, Sam. Because
mate.
Yeah, read the small print.
Because I remember that time when we went to Digicon First 1, and you did a mistake and booked us at a camper mine, which would only look like a hotel that you would book at if you was in a horror film. And I shit you not, in the bathroom, it looked like there was dry blood on the ceiling. And I'm not even lying. And I blocked the toilet. I blocked it bad. It was a really shit cistern, and it was really slow with the water pressure and everything. It was really ridiculous.
I have got this very funny story I heard from that course I was on. I heard this really funny story from the tutor. He once went and stayed in a hotel somewhere, and by accident, a couple of days into his visit, he went into the wrong room, thinking it was his room, and he went and did a number 2 in the toilet, and then he was in the room, and then he's noticed there was this Spider-Man backpack that belonged to this kid. So, no, I'm not in the right room. So he's gone into someone else's room, done a number 2 in the toilet, and then this woman comes in with the key. She's like, "Ow!" Stunk the bloody room out.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's something you would do, Sam. You know what? Has this ever been done before? Live on a hangout, and we ended up booking a convention.
Probably.
I don't think I've ever seen it done before. I've heard it being mentioned, like people talk about conventions all the time, but never booking one there and then. Well, at least it's got a bit of flexibility. So, say if something happens with either you, Lawrence, or myself, or Sam, um, and one of us can't make it, at least we can alter it before the event.
Yeah, well, I don't see any reason why I can't make it. I mean,
I can't, but it all depends whether my new place of work, if I do finally get somewhere. Also, I know this is before I get into work, so if you've got any holidays booked, they have to take into consideration. But it also depends of how their holiday allowance works as well. So I need to kind of keep that into consideration a little bit. I mean, I'm doing TFN, and
yeah, I mean, I want to do TFN just because I'm now familiar with the environment and it's friendly and it does me good. It's a real leech from life.
Right, that's done.
Right.
Okay, so our hotel is booked for PonyCon, lads. That's done, so it's pay on the day. We can pay cash, so we'll sort that out at a later date. Like I said, no rush.
Yeah.
I said I get paid the day before the tickets go online. So the day the tickets go online, I will book the tickets, and again we can discuss payment for that at a later date because we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it looks like we're actually sorted for our very first pony convention.
Is that UK?
As I say, Sam, the best thing to do. Sorry, you go, John.
That's all right. You'll go, Lawrence.
The best thing for you to do, John, is just take everything out of the money for TFN. You're gonna just give me the, because that way you've got my share there and ready for you. So,
all right, well, let's just call my share towards TFN £60.
Yeah, okay.
Because to be
fair,
fine. That still works out at half the hotel anyway, because it's roughly £30 a night anyway at the place we're staying at.
Yeah.
So if I gave you £60, that would roughly cover me for at least 2 nights out of the 4.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I can't see any reason why my circumstances would change, depending obviously if I find work, but I'm kind of reviewing the situation at the moment in terms of what work I can find, because due to my current situation, I don't know how much better off I would actually be working part-time.
No, I can understand it from your circumstances, mate. To be honest, I am actually legally able, if I wanted to. I could basically not work and be claiming disability benefits if I wanted to. But I don't see the point, because even though legally I am classed as a disabled person, I don't see the point, because I'm not inflicted in a way that I feel requires me to take advantage of the system. I mean, I'm not saying you do, mate.
No. The thing is, I really want to work. I mean, but I'm not going to turn my back on looking for work. I mean, but yeah, it's been absolute. The situation has been terrible, because that course, basically, they sent me for an interview that I made clear was not suitable for me, and I still attended the fucking.
Been there. I have been there. Bloody hell! A couple of years ago, when I lost my job, one of the agencies I signed up to were bloody useless. They kept on sending me applications for jobs I was not qualified to do. And I kept on telling them, I can't do any of these jobs. I'm not qualified. I've not done this. I've not done that. I don't have that experience. And then some of the jobs they sent me was like, oh, we've got this job here. It's only a 3-month contract. Yeah, what is it? Oh, it's office based. It's this, that, the other. Yeah, I can do that. However, it isn't a paid. They ain't going to be paying you. I was like, right, okay. Will I get any money for bus fares and food? No, you won't get any of that either. Right. So what you're saying is, for 3 months, I am expected to fork out money for bus fares and lunch breaks and whatever else, and I'm not going to get any of the money back. Yeah, no, thanks. I can't really afford to do that on bloody benefits. You're talking about, £12.50 a week on buses and who knows how much, on food. It's like, yeah, no way. If you're not going to cover my buses, at least I'm not going to do it.
No, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, that's awesome. I mean, the convention, Sam. It's what is it? UK one? UK Pony.
UK Pony. It's in Nottingham, mate. Of course, it's in the UK.
What I mean is, it's there's a few of them in the UK. So,
but yeah, where's our little chat box? There it is. Hang on, let me throw up the website to you. Hang on. Oh shit! No, bloody hell! I just booked us in the bloody one in Russia. Oh my god, what are we gonna do?
You booked us in the. No, you booked us in the Russian convention.
Yeah, no, God, what are we gonna do? Right, links up there for you to the website.
What, a Russian hotel or the Russian convention?
Not really, mate. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I mean that'd be. Though, to be frank, Russia does have a very strong brony community, actually.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's not the safest place to go to, is it? You could get kidnapped there.
I don't think Russia's that bad. I just think it depends where in Russia you go. Yeah, you don't want to walk into Putin's back garden. Let's put it that way.
Well, I think if Sam was to stand outside the Kremlin, or in a very precarious way, that would probably end.
I'm British. You're like, kill him. Probably what happened. I am from Yorkshire.
Kill him fast. Right, okay.
You really had me going there, Sam, for a minute.
Well, you actually thought I'd accidentally booked us into Russia. Well, there are Russian pony cons, mate. Yeah, but no.
Well, I could see why they would like it.
On all serious note, lads, I do recommend you check out some of the Russian brony artists on DeviantArt. They are amazing.
Cool.
You will.
Yeah, it's...
Is that Nightmare Moon?
That's Chrysalis.
Maybe at this PonyCon, maybe this will be the one place I can go to get a Spike plush.
eBay, but they are pretty... Well, they're not too... It depends where you go on eBay. You can get the Build-A-Bear ones for about 30 quid, which is only slightly more than you wear at Build-A-Bear. I mean, speaking of Build-A-Bear, I mean, I might make my annual trip to it in Birmingham in August, though it does depend what they've got. I mean, at the moment, they haven't got a lot of MLP stuff currently. If they've still got Toothless in by August, I might get Toothless, but I'm waiting for them to do right. There are three characters I want Build-A-Bear to do from MLP. I want a Kieran, I want Smolder, and I want Ember.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I should have got a message about that booking there now.
Well, like, I'm just gonna break this to you softly, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam has likely just booked us into a Campermine hotel in Nottingham, so we'll probably get murdered.
Mate, it wasn't that bad of a hotel.
It was, because I literally 2 days in, I blocked the flipping toilet. I had to deal with that, which was not nice. I feel sorry for the little old lady that was probably cleaning the toilet, cleaning the rooms. Seriously, that hotel was literally right when I told Carl, because Carl's from Doncaster, and when we told Carl where we were staying, he said, "Yeah, I know that well, and it's the West Hotel in Donny." And typical of for booking the West Hotel in Donny.
Yeah, booking's gone through. So,
wow.
Sam.
Yeah.
Something's come up. I can't go.
What?
I can't go to the UK PonyCon anymore. Something's come up. I need the cat needs feeding. But it won't feed itself.
Was that serious?
She's a fair long. She'll just eat everybody.
No, I'm just kidding with you, Lawrence.
It's all right.
Right. Before we clock off, there's a few more questions that this Jonathan has.
Bring them on, mate. Bring them on.
I don't know if he's still here anymore. If you're still here, let us know. But
apologies, mate. We weren't ignoring you. We were as you probably heard, we were booking tickets for a pony convention. So that's what we've been doing for the last 20 minutes.
Right. So, whereabouts was I? There we go. What are your favourite MLP songs? Mine is from the Parents of Applejack. So, Lawrence, what would you say so far is one of your favourite?
I'd definitely say, in terms of the movie, I like the Ponies party thing. The one that was changed from Jimmy Neutron, the opening song.
Pony's got the beat.
Yeah. Open Up Your Eyes, the Tempest song. And also probably the Equestria Girls Canteen song in the first Equestria Girls film.
Cool. Sam?
That's a tough one. I've got quite a lot. Definitely the Smile song, because I love that Smile song.
Which version? I love the really X-rated version. That's best.
The original version. I'm just from the church, like the Smile song. I love that. You'll Play Your Part. I really like that song. All the songs the CMC sing in the episode where they get the cutie marks. You'll Make Our Mark. That's really good. Hearts as Strong as Horses. Really like that song. Luna's song. She's got a song.
Just one.
Yeah. I'll admit, I like Rainbow Dash's song. Is it I'll Fly? When I Fly, that one. I like that one.
That's a great song.
I can't remember so many. There's like a song in nearly every episode. So
Bats song. I like that one.
Yeah.
I could go on forever. There's a lot of songs on the list that I really like. Oh yeah, and obviously the Cafeteria song from Equestria Girls. Every song in Rainbow Rocks, and the opening song for Legend of Everfree. Oh, and I'm Invisible for Invisible Friendship, Wallflower song. That I could go on forever, but that's just a small list of the songs I like.
Yeah. I'd have to second that with the Invisible song. I love that one. I love all the songs that the Sirens sing in Rainbow Rocks. I love the I'll Fly song, Rainbow Dash.
To get started with Google's smart campaigns, select your business goal, where you want to advertise.
Also,
sorry, I can't resist.
Everybody, something we make seem as different as the night is from day. But you look a little deeper, and you will see.
great song.
Everybody, we're here to shout that the magic of friendship is what it's all about.
Right then, and shall we move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
just so you know, slightly off topic, I did see Captain Marvel, by the way.
What do you think, mate?
It was very good. A very good little prequel.
Yeah, it's a good film. There's a I'm not going to go into it here, but there's a few moments where a bit cringy, like a bit. There's a little bit of a feminist thing in that for definite, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah,
and also essentially kind of the aliens that were fighting. Essentially, that they were legal aliens.
It's the introduction of the character, so to go into Infinity War's Endgame, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but the problem is that those bad guy characters, that race, essentially, saying that they were illegal aliens and they were um, refugees and all this lot. So essentially, they are bringing political stuff into
Yeah,
a
but
film.
Hollywood's always done that, mate.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. So, Jonathan asks again, what is the best reference you saw in MLP? Man is Twilight of the future of Metal Gear.
Sorry, repeat that for me, mate. What was the question?
What is the best reference you saw in MLP? So pretty much kind of like
Oh,
reference
right. Yeah.
something else. And he says his is Twilight of the future, like Metal Gear.
Two that I will definitely point out. One is almost at least once in a season, you'll come across very subtle Transformers references, normally through the Transformer sound. And
That's Pinkie Pie who did that.
yeah. Secondly, has to be the very subtly done Metal Gear Solid reference where Discord's hiding in the box, and Pinkie Pie goes, "Oh, hi, Discord," and then the bloody alert symbol, the apostrophe symbol appears above it, and it does the Metal Gear, does the Metal Gear noise.
Yep.
Yeah, like that.
To be honest, the only one I've really noticed is the Transformers reference, so I'd have to go for that one. That sound effect.
Yeah, because it's done twice. They did it once in the movie, and Pinkie Pie did it.
I could actually reference. I don't know if there is actually a very, very subtle. There's a couple of very subtle, like dirty jokes in as well. There's one in the MLP film, which I don't know how many people have spotted this, because you've got to pay attention in the scene to actually realise what the joke is.
It's the same as looking for other Disney references hidden in Disney films.
Yeah, there's basically in the scene where they're all in Kappa's house or in his seedy little bedroom, when Tempest comes in and they're all escaping, and Twilight grabs hold of the folded up map. It's actually folded up and looks like a condom packet.
Really?
Yeah, you've really got to pay attention to it. I only noticed it because I saw a video on YouTube where somebody had spotted it, and you've actually got to watch it real carefully. It's only like literally visible for like a second or two, but yeah, it's sort of meant to be a pun, like like boyfriend being caught in girlfriend's room with his pants down while dad's kind of thing, and that's sort of what the pun is.
Oh, I see. Because all the other mayors were essentially surrounding him and infatuated by him and his stories. You've
really got to watch that scene really carefully. It's only visible for like a second. It's real subtly done.
Yeah, but man will have to be that there's a character later on where there's a Doctor Who reference.
Oh yeah, like Doctor Who's.
Yeah,
they do that really well in the 100th episode, didn't they? That was great. That.
Yeah. So there's like a Doctor Who reference. There's Transformers references, Metal Gear references. I think for me, I just like the Doctor Who one, Transformers reference, and yeah, let's go for that. Let's move on. Basically, he asks, do you know the manga or comic of Moroz? And that person apparently is from Mexico. Want the manga to be animated after the end of season 9 with animators who are working on manga or comics, and he sent the link.
Because didn't they say that Japan are actually working on their own version of MLP?
There was a rumor a couple of years ago, but that's about as far as it went, as far as I know. There was some sort of rumor, yeah.
Right. This is the link. I don't know if it's going to pop up on you guys, but this is the link that he sent me about this comic book. You got it?
Yeah. Oh, this. Yeah, I vaguely remember this. Yeah, I remember this being mentioned a while ago.
Man's still loaded.
Is this a fan
human.
project, or is this an actual?
I can't check it out properly. I've got a really slow connection for some reason.
I know.
But anyway, so yeah, that was that. Let's move on. Do you know? Well, obviously we know about Generation 5, and it just asks, what do you think? Will it be better than Gen 4? Gen 4?
It'd be hard to say. I'd like to think it would be different. Whether to say it would be better or just different, really. Just a new take on the.
I mean, at the moment, it's too hard to really ask a question like that. It's too hard, too early. Sorry, because we only have speculation to go on. We only know that. Well, there's no 100% confirmation that there will be a Gen 5, but there will be. But at the moment, we don't know if it's going to be some sort of a continuation of Gen 4 in the way that the new main 6 could possibly be the focus of the next series.
I've just posted on Facebook. Looks like I'm going to PonyCon 2019, and Tony's posted this thing saying, "Are you joking?"
No. No. Hang on, I'm gonna have to respond to this because it'll come up on mine.
Yeah, just message back to him, Lawrence, saying, and you're going to a convention about Transformers, and your problem is?
Yeah.
Same thing, just,
I'll put same as Transformers, just anamorphic ponies.
Right, so what was that question again? Let me just... So, Sam, on that question...
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think Gen 5 will be better than Gen 4, or do you think it'll be about par? Or
in all complete honesty, mate, I actually think that it will be very difficult to really be. It'll be difficult to capture Gen 4. I think Gen 4 is was just extremely. Sorry, what's that? I'm just trying to find Lawrence's post. Right, anyway, in a nutshell,
It's on the Otaku Solo page.
All right. Basically, I think it will be very hard for Hasbro to rekindle and recapture what Gen 4 has been. Gen 4 is much more than just a very successful series. It's a series that created an amazing fan base. And although the fan base will still be around after we finish at Season 9 and no doubt will flow into Gen 5, I generally don't believe, although I may be proven wrong, I don't believe that Gen 5 will be able to capture the magic that has been Gen 4. I think Gen 4 will be its own individual thing, and Gen 4 will live on and just be something that will always be remembered as just perhaps the greatest, if not the last true cartoon in the last decade. It will be that thing.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion on that is very similar to yours, Sam. Is that the thing is, it's too early to really ask that question, because the problem is that Gen 4 is just it's one of those very, 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 very rare phenomenons that happen in animation, especially now. And there's so many animated cartoons out there that have just failed to really, failed in the animation department or failed in the storytelling, or both. And it doesn't happen very often when you get a cartoon or a series or franchise or a series that is based upon a popular franchise from the 80s that has really, really done very well to capture imaginations of people in all over the world. It's very, very rare that happens. And so yeah, I mean, Gen 4. Obviously Gen 5 will get people will move on to Gen 5 from Gen 4, but I mean,
I can't wait to hear what Carl's going to say when he reads this.
Oh yeah, woo! Prepare for the fury of Carl, everybody. Right, don't worry, lads. I will protect us all. I shall counter Carl with my own death note. I will protect us with my own death note. Bring it, Carl. I'm ready. Do your worst. I can see your fist coming out and punching me right now.
He's not on here. I don't think he's subscribed to this channel, so I won't know.
Actually, what I'm curious about, I never even noticed. He's got some kind of like Japanese writing in here. I've never even noticed that. What's it say? Out of interest.
Probably you are gay.
Get my translator up.
I need to get a death note.
Everybody needs a death note. Somebody needs to create one so that, kind of anyone that you don't like, bye-bye. We're not joking. I'd use mine to get rid of Trump.
Yeah. Did you see his speech about what he said about his meeting with Kim Jong-un earlier? I saw it on IGN.
No. I don't really pay much attention to it now. I've had enough.
Oh, just on completely off topic. Have you guys signed this petition to prevent Brexit?
No.
I don't even know about it.
I've done it. It was to stop it.
It's not going to happen, is it? Because it's going to
got like 4 million so far. It needs 17 million.
It won't happen because the problem is it's going to have to happen because it's too late to go back now. Personally, but that's as far as I'm going to go on that. I'm not talking about. I'm going to keep political stuff to a minimum. But anyways, I don't know if you two want to call it a night. No, it's 1 o'clock. What going on for?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go a bit longer?
Go a little bit longer, mate.
Well, I'm just thinking about you a lot. I know it's the weekend. It's not like it's weekday.
Yeah, no, the thing is, my sleep pattern's been completely out of order, so I'll probably be up for a few more hours.
I don't have a sleep pattern. I don't know what one is. I don't even know what that is. I mean, if you want to push it a bit longer, it's up to you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna force you off. I'm just thinking that we've been on for a while and we've answered all the questions from
and booked a convention.
Yeah.
Convention, yeah.
Night, actually, we've done a lot of questions about MLP. We've booked a convention to an MLP convention.
And it's also ended up being an expensive one.
Well, yeah, between three of us, mate. Yeah.
I know, but potentially this has cost me dearly. I'm joking.
But worth every penny of it.
True. I think we're doing a live feed and everyone's on the mobile phones. It's like,
Yeah, the future. Yeah. I'm just trying to get this translated because I said that.
I've had a reply from Carl.
Have you?
Level 69 gay.
I'll just come back to that saying, and what's wrong with being gay? We're not like, but,
Yeah.
So, gentlemen.
Yeah, here's a sea pony Fluttershy here.
I've already got my chrysalis in here, but that's only because I don't have anywhere to put her in my main room. I like this. This is just like random of gifts, isn't it? It's like first gift is Tony, just like, are you joking? It's like you put, yes, there is Transformers, really just anthropomorphic Bronies. And I've just put, no, he's not joking. We are going to PonyCon 2019. Kind of like the whole response from Carl is level 69 gay. And then Tony's response to that is everybody just face palming. Oh dear. This has been an interesting night, lads. We have created something on here. I know.
Well, maybe if we could get, let's say, if this channel gets 1,000 subscribers by October, maybe the con will get on to us, but not likely. But you know,
Yeah. I've just put up. Sorry, but the fact it's a convention for MLP is nothing different to that of TFN. Both are based off cartoon / toy franchises, no difference.
I've just popped out. Let's buy a ticket for Tony and Carl. Just to take the piss. Oh, that'd be funny.
The problem is that Tony and Carl essentially live in a very old, distant past of realization. I mean, if you think about it, right? What's the difference of going to an MLP and a Transformers convention? They're both toy / cartoon franchises.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no difference. Yeah. There's no difference. The fact that one is anthropomorphic bloody ponies is no difference. They're still both franchises that are aimed at kids, not adults. But still, we go to these in droves. There's no difference.
I might be able to get another MLP cushion from TFN because last year those were the only, well, both 2 years, those are the only My Little Pony things I found there were those cushions the guy does, Nick does. I think they might have had 1 or 2 things there since MLP is also a Hasbro product, but
they've had a few things now and then. You don't have a lot, but now and then you get the odd MLP related things showing up.
Yeah.
Well, at least this year, hopefully, potentially this year, guys, we've actually got something interesting we can bring to the Bronies UK channel.
Indeed, we have.
You know, we can, all 3 of us can maybe the day before or maybe 2 days before, we can do another live chat and talk about what we're looking forward to. And then from then on, we can maybe follow the whole weekend and vlog it between us.
Yeah, we can.
So what you could do, Lawrence, is that if you bring a, well, obviously you'd have an SD card or something or something. I don't know. I mean, I know you use your card, but your phone or whatever to record stuff maybe. But if you had what we could do is that if you recorded some stuff, Sam recorded some stuff, and myself, we could.
Should we dress up?
No. I'm not. I'd like to do that, but I'm very self-conscious about myself and wearing.
We could I'll tell you what we'll do. We could have a Spike, a Discord, and another male character.
There's not many.
There's not many.
I know. We could have a hang on.
Danny Armour.
Yeah, but it's shit.
Or we could have this guy, Doyle.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
All this King Sombra.
It's hard to think of male characters because there are the cheese sandwich, another male character.
Yeah.
He's returning in season 9.
Yeah. So when I was thinking once to go for my Halloween night out once. I wanted to dress up as Tuxedo Mask, but I never got around to it because I don't have a real tuxedo. I've got a hat that looks like it is, but
Yeah. Oh shit! You noticed they haven't come back to my comment because they're stumped, aren't they? Because I've literally called them. Because literally, there's no difference to going to other convention.
no.
I mean, it's the same thing. And if you notice, they've both shut up. I've silenced Tony before in the past, and Sam knows this. I don't like it when people take the piss out of people liking something else just because they don't like it.
No, well, it doesn't matter.
I know they're both joking and all, but it annoys the hell out of me because Tony likes Transformers and other stuff and Star Trek. Sorry, Star Trek's freaking far worse than anything else. The fan base of Star Trek is bloody toxic, just as like Star Wars is. Anyway, I'm not going to get on a tangent. This has been a fun chat. I'm not going to get in a tangent, but it annoys me when people of different fan bases kind of take the piss out of someone that likes something from a different different thing. Just at the end of the day, it's a toy line and a cartoon franchise, just like Transformers, and it's from Hasbro, so it's part of the family. That's all I will say.
It might mean maybe now because Hasbro have bought out Power Rangers, maybe there might be some more Power Rangers stuff at TFN. I don't know. I mean, the news.
Maybe.
Yeah, Beast Morphers has now started to air in America. I've not been able to see a full episode yet, but
it has started to air, but I don't know when. I don't know if it's airing in the UK at the same time. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I could check something.
It's on Nicktoons, isn't it, or Nickelodeon or something?
Yeah, I still haven't seen the end of Super Ninja Steel, but
I've not watched that. No, well, I have watched a bit of it. I haven't watched it to the end.
I've heard the theme song. It's quite a catchy theme tune, but it's a much smaller opening sequence. Beast Morphers is.
I need to catch up on Power Rangers. I'm really behind on it. I mean, I don't know what last season I watched was.
I'm behind.
But that decision won't be taken by thousands of people on the streets. It will be taken by fewer than 650 MPs. And so far, they've resisted all calls for a public vote.
I'll save my opinion on this for a non-Brony UK video because I don't really want to. And Brexit, mate. I've got.
Sorry about this. I'm searching for a channel.
No, it's all right, mate.
Because I've got ITV on.
I've got my opinions on the current situation, but like I said, I'd rather discuss it on another night or when we're not doing the Bronies UK video. Because I have a lot to say, but I don't want to go into it now because I'll start ranting for hours.
Yeah, you will, and all. Seriously, right?
No, at the moment, I think it's still Super Ninja Steel.
It's still not clear how or exactly when the UK will leave the EU. And campaigners here are hoping that politicians can still be persuaded to give that decision.
No, it's still Super Ninja Steel at the moment.
BBC News, Westminster.
Yeah, well, that's the latest series that the UK has had.
And on Pop Max, they're airing the older ones like RPM and stuff.
Yeah.
I know that Hasbro are talking about this potential new Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But it looks like it is going to be another reboot.
Well, yeah, they're playing with two possible ideas, whether to continue. The thing is, I don't think it's a viable idea to continue the the one we had previously, because it failed to really do what it's supposed to set out to do. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it,
I did, yeah.
but for the most part, it failed to really capture imaginations from fans and non-fans
Yeah.
for the most part. And
I think the issue was the origin story was good, but you didn't get to see the Rangers in action till sort of like the last 28, 30 minutes, 20 sort of minutes of the film.
Yeah, plus I don't like Goldar. I don't like how he looked.
No,
I think Elizabeth Banks as Elizabeth Banks' character, Rita Repulsa, she was great. And all the played the actual main Ranger characters, they were all brilliant as well.
yeah.
What do you think to Bryan Cranston's Zord? I didn't like how the Zord looked either.
That Zord, like Bryan Cranston's Zord on.
Oh yeah, I liked him. I mean, Bryan Cranston. I mean, he was in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He played a character.
Yeah, he was. He did voices for the monsters, didn't he?
Yeah, or something. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was great as Zordon. I thought it was a great figure. I think the guy who played Alpha was a good choice as well.
Yeah, I think. Oh, but on that new market stall that I was talking about, this guy's got the original power chamber. No, the command center from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's in the box and everything.
Cool.
It's like £50, but then again, they'd be quite valuable now. That's like 1994.
Yeah.
He's got Zord in the box. He's got a Titanus, the Ultra Zord thing. But the only thing I've seen MLP related is from Gen 4 is a couple of plushies.
Yeah, so now I'm looking forward to the UK PonyCon. I think that's going to be cool. I think, like I was talking about a bit before, we got on a bit of a tangent there, but I'm mainly looking forward to the prospect of that. We can kind of like do a bit of a video thing with it, and kind of cover the event a little bit. Me and Sam, between us, both think that you're obviously part of the Bronies UK thing as well. Even though there's, maybe don't post as much on our channel, but that's mainly because it's difficult to, send videos to one another.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, me and Sam both think you're, definitely a part of the Brony UK thing.
Yeah,
and I think what would be cool is that all three of us would be together.
Yeah,
and I think what we could do is that, like I said about flash drive or something, because does your mobile phone have like a mini SD card thing?
I don't actually think it does, because this is the 6S, so it's the most up to date model, but
it might not. It might have. Yeah, it's just it's a bit different. I mean, if it becomes a problem, what you could do, Lawrence, is just like what you've been doing. You could maybe just post whatever you want to post up on your YouTube channel, and with me and Sam will just link it in with the ones that we make, so that it's all linked together.
Yeah, I mean, because you linked my my response video to you guys on the thoughts about season 9. That's had a lot of views. That has.
Yeah, they haven't done bad. But yeah, I mean, like I say, what I was thinking about is that we could because I like to do like vlog material, but I like to kind of vlog the whole experience, like the whole traveling down, what we do in between a little bit, not loads, but what we do in between the convention, obviously the convention itself, and kind of like take the viewers on a bit of a journey. I mean, I'm not the only person that does this. I mean, AC Race Best and Saberspark probably do the best, but AC Race Best is probably the best Brony vlogger. out well, one of them anyway, arguably, and but there's not many people in the UK. Well, there is some UK YouTubers that are part of the fan base that do videos around conventions, but it's very different because usually they're mainly all cosplayers, so it's only from the cosplay perspective and not from the wider perspective.
The thing is, I've always wanted to do cosplay, but you know how people pay to get their, people can go to professional costume designers to get their costumes made. It would cost so much, and rather than attempt to make something myself, it would look very cheap and stupid. Plus, my artistic skills are rather shite. So,
well, if you want to do it sometime, mate, go for it. Personally, I've been a guy that cosplays at TFN.
Yeah.
Me and him had a conversation quite a few months back, and he actually said to me, "You should maybe see about doing the cosplay thing as well at TFN." And I said, "Well, I've thought about it, but I have a lot of insecurities about myself, and if I was to put a costume on it, I'd probably really start freaking out."
I get what you mean. I don't mind. I like the fact sometimes that sometimes male or men or boys whatnot might dress up as female characters. I don't mind. It's a bit of fun. It doesn't matter. When I was at Comic Con in 2016, London Comic Con, they had some really great costumes. Like they had a guy who had the Red Lightspeed Ranger costume. He said he had someone make it for him because that was the series he grew up with and remembered. There was really good Sailor Moons and Sailor Scouts and stuff. That's actually where I got this hat from.
Oh yeah, cool. Well, like I say, the great thing about these things is that it promotes this freedom of expression. People dressing up as what they want to dress as, and also people just generally don't have to do that. They could just go and just celebrate and enjoy it with friends. It works on all sectors of the whole thing, people that do cosplay, I'm envious of those people because even though they probably do have a bit of insecurities about the bodies, but yet they love to create and express their love through costume, and it's brilliant, I think. Really brilliant. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing, Sam, as well, and Lawrence. Thinking about maybe kind of like doing something. Sam could maybe do bits on his own.
What we could do, I
was thinking about getting everybody's perspective separately, but also kind of have like main videos of us all together, so I kind of include everybody, but then everyone else kind of go off and do their own little things, and we could just kind of make like a little series out of it. Like, if I know, getting videos from Lawrence is a bit difficult because me and Sam have both got Windows computers, and you've got a Mac, and sometimes they're not compatible with each other. So, well, they're not, generally aren't. But what Lawrence can do, Lawrence can just post his videos of what he's made and put them on his channel, and we can just link them to the ones we do on this channel. Simple as. People still see them.
Yeah.
You can do end cards things at the end of your videos now, so you can link another YouTuber in there as well.
Yeah. This is the thing. Guys, for this channel, you guys don't use your YouTuber titles, really. I don't either, but.
Well, to be honest, this channel is completely separate to the thing is, to be honest with you, Lawrence, if you wanted, we could send you the login details to this account,
Oh yeah, well I'm up for that. Well, obviously I wouldn't go mad uploading because obviously I'm not fully caught up yet. But
But what we could do, because well, basically, originally I was the prime person that basically uploaded the videos that me and Sam did originally. But then I decided to kind of send the details and everything to Sam, and now Sam makes his own videos and uploads them himself, and I do that with my videos.
yeah,
So if you wanted to be a part of the Brony UK channels, Lawrence, to make it separate to the channel, to your own channel, then you're welcome to come on, and I'll either myself or Sam will send you the login details, and you can just, whenever you want to make a video, upload
okay, yeah.
it.
That'd be fantastic. I really would appreciate that.
I mean, it'd be fantastic to get a freeway perspective on things, and then it'll make the channel a bit more interesting, and Yeah, I'm sure Sam will be all right with that.
I'll send you them now, Lawrence.
Okay, thanks, mate.
I mean, they're pretty easy to remember, but all I will say is, Lawrence, keep them secret from anyone else. Obviously,
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah.
We don't want all of YouTube to know what the login details are, but keep them safe, and you can just log it whenever you want to make a video. Just log in, and you can upload yourself. If you have any problems where it's asking for permission or something, then just let us know and we'll sort it out. Because me and Sam I had to kind of do permission things because I set the YouTube channel up myself.
Yeah.
But I had Sam when I did it. Sam, I had to kind of get permission. I had to give permission so Sam could use the channel. But it should be fine. Because I think that eliminates the problem that we've had in the past, Lawrence. If you want to say respond to me and Sam, you can just simply log into this account and upload your responses, and that way it keeps your YouTube channels because obviously it's separate to all three of us.
Yeah,
it's a different YouTube channel, and certain individuals, such as certain individuals that don't like this show, won't be here, so you've got freedom to express yourself, you see.
Yeah,
that's the whole idea. But we've not got any more comments on the live stream, and there's only one person watching, but I've got no idea who it is. It might be me, actually. It could be me because I've got the live feed up.
There you go, Lawrence. I've sent you the login details, username, and password.
Okay, so I won't read them out here, obviously.
No. But if you have any issues trying to use it, just let me and Sam know, because
I will.
Because with it being 3 different users trying to gain access to one account, sometimes it asks you ask the main person for permission. But you shouldn't have any issues. Hopefully not. I mean, I know we're saying this all live over YouTube.